Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Harness Tube. Steve Surratt, David Brink, Lisa Surratt on with you tonight from Newton, Illinois and the Jasper County Fair. First time we've been here, David. 2 days of racing for us here.
I'm excited to be here. It's the first time. I'll tell you what, I've talked to a lot of people the last couple of days, and Ed TV's never been down here. The Bones never raced down here. So this is virgin territory for a lot of the folks that I'm back home. So it'll be fun to see some racing here at the Jasper County Fair. Always good racing, always a fast track. Nice hot night, should be some fast miles.
It ought to be. It ought to be a fast track tonight. Horses look good warming up. 13 races on the card for you this evening. First race supposed to be off at 6:30, so we'll have some pre-fest for you here. But we thank you for being a part of our broadcast. With that, we'll take a station break. We'll be back after these messages.
Wait, before you go and get your snacks and drinks, make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tube. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
We'll have the Brink boys on that as they tell you to like and subscribe. Do us a favor and do that on Facebook and YouTube. We were at 850 something yesterday, right, David?
Yes.
What are we at today?
You gave us that lofty goal of hitting 1,000 by Rushville by July 1st. We're at 862 right now, it looks like. So we got about 10 more last night.
All right, so we need more people liking and subscribing us so we can get to 1,000 and get some things from YouTube.
If you know anyone who's got a YouTube account, they're not just kind of sitting dormant, go ahead and sign on to it and subscribe to us on that one to give us some free likes that way.
All right, we're going to give another sponsor part here.
Make plans now to attend the 27th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale, which takes place on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Once again this year, the catalog will offer not only a strong lineup of Illinois-conceived and foaled yearlings, but also an excellent supporting cast of colts and fillies eligible to other state-bred programs in the Midwest and on the Eastern Seaboard. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
Back with you on Harness Tube. As David said, normally I don't have commercials running back-to-back like that, so I got caught off guard. But we want to thank our sponsors out there that help us with that, David. We can't do this without sponsors and without donors.
Absolutely. We were so thankful for all of our donors, everyone who stepped up. And, we had a little donorship campaign this spring. We sent out some letters and got some checks coming in the mail that way. And even this so far racing this year, people have stepped forward and offered us checks or sent checks into the P.O. box. And, we're so appreciative. It helps, goes a long way to keep the Harness Tube broadcast free for everybody. Absolutely.
We've got the donor list up there for you to see. We want to thank all the donors, and I think we may have some that need to be added to that.
They'll be in tomorrow night, I think. We got them for the broadcast tomorrow night.
All right. With that, you can donate by going to Venmo or PayPal at Harness Tube, or P.O. Box 63, Mount Sterling, Illinois, 62353. If you're a fan and you watch and you happen to be in Newton tonight, stop by the broadcast booth and
say hi.
Give us say hi. We've seen Jaquavian Carter already.
Fat Man came up here tonight. Yeah,
and explained it. We were wanting to know for sure why he's called Fat Man, and he said he was a fat baby.
A chunky little baby, and it's stuck ever since. So, but he's a nice guy. It was great to meet him. We actually get to talk to him, and got a special shout out for him coming up later on around one of his races. Steve, we're talking about our subscriber list and how many we got over here. We got someone in the chat getting a little jealous over here. Country Kid 23 Harrison says, "I wish I had as many subscribers as you guys do." Lofty goals, kid. One day.
Yeah, what's he? Is he the 11-year-old?
Yep, he's the older one. So.
Yeah. Hey, you're 11.
I tell you what, the hard work that goes into sitting in grandstands for hot, sweaty hours, that's where the content comes from, the hours and hours of content. That's where the viewership comes from. So keep putting out content, kid. I love it. Keep making us stuff. We'll throw up on our channel for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We love it. Well, what's going on? And again, speaking of sponsors, we can't do it without them. We're going to give them one more opportunity here.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
All right, David, a beautiful, well, I won't say beautiful night here, but a warm night here. We had a nice, breezy, shady place until the sun just got to where it's at the 6 o'clock range.
We got about an hour of harsh sunlight, it looks like, and then it's going to get below grandstand. But
it's a good thing I cast a big shadow over here on my screen. So.
We're blocking the sun for Lisa. I'm tall back here and got the shade for, but it's not a horrible night. It's a heat wave going across the country. I've seen there's been tracks all across the Midwest and even out east that have moved their cards up to accommodate for the heat. And I think everyone back there is going to stay hydrated. We're going to do all right tonight.
All right. The big thing out there, where were we last night?
Cambridge and Henry County.
Henry County Fair last night. We're here in Newton tonight.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3.
We'll be back with them with that as Scott Beal's getting ready to do some announcing.
We'll have a microphone check here as soon as the audio technician gets back to his position.
It sounded good in my head.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I'm going to have to turn him down a little bit in our head.
I want to hear him in the...
But here's some things coming up from the backstretch, guys. We'd love to, hear about your first time seeing a harness race. When was that? Where was that? Maybe some things that you remember from that.
Absolutely, please do. I mention your first time seeing a race. I was just telling Steve before we went on the air, I'm pretty sure Newton is where Tim Tetrick and Jared Finn and those guys, when they were kids, like 12 years old, were racing ponies and pony carts out here. So there's some great memories down here in Jasper County. Share them in the chat. If you have any old pictures, text, email them in, whatever you got, and we'll try to get them up on the air for you.
Okay, yeah, but here's the pictures we do not want you to send us.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, Lane Avenatti sent us this last night as we were sweating to death in Cambridge. He's sitting at home watching the races in the pool, and he sends this picture.
It was nice of him to crop out the beer in his hand, though, right?
It was. It was. But that may cost him one of those frosty beverages next time he sees
I know where to find him at Urbana. He's got a nice cooler usually.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what we'll get that figured out the next time. But for that picture, let's consider him fined. He's got a harness tube fine hanging over his head.
We'll keep tabs on him.
Yeah. But you can send those pictures via email to harnestube@gmail.com. Text 312-772-5122 or chat with us on the YouTube channel. David will be bringing those up on the screen as we go through the night, and we're really appreciative of that and the people that watch.
The chat's been so great. I never thought I'd be talking to my kid doing a horse race broadcast through a YouTube chat, but here we are. It's technology, right? And I'm loving every second of it. So we appreciate all of you in the chat. The chat's having a blast. We got Mark Walker out there watching, Harrison, of course, obviously, and it's going to be a big night. The chat usually starts lighting up about this time.
Absolutely, and again, folks, we cannot do this without sponsors, without the people like you that donate and help. And so I'm going to go one of those sponsors here again real quick.
Okay.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Want to thank Tom and Benita Simmons. They're the billboard folks. We can do billboards like you see for Simmons Stables here. You can call David and arrange that. We'll set that up and make that all up for you.
And these are $100 for the season. I mean, you couldn't get cheaper advertising. We'll throw it together for you. Hit me up. We'll build you a slide. We'll put it up there and get your name out there for all of Harness Tube to see.
And if you'd like a full commercial, we can make
do
the
that
commercial
too
for you. Yeah, we'd be glad to do that.
We're getting pretty good at those, aren't we?
Better than as we go along here.
We're getting some tips and tricks figured out, but that's fun.
And then, like I said, you can advertise with us and get in touch with us on those things. And we would love to have you on board with what we are doing.
Do you want me to go ahead and recap last night's
Sure.
big winners while we got some? Let Scott talk.
Fair of 2 days of harness racing. We're going to go through the card and we will give you the changes before the program begins. We'll get underway at approximately 5:30. But for right now, 6:30. Thank you, 6:30. If you are keeping track on your program, I'll go through and give you the changes at this time. In race 1, scratch the 1 Owashi name. Number 1, race 1, scratched. Race 2, we have a driver's change. On number 4, Little Bunny Frou Frou, the driver is now Archie Buford. Archie Buford is now the driver of number 4 in race 2. Race 3, we have a driver change. Number 2, Hidalgo Otis, now driven by Harold Finn Jr. Race 4, there are no changes. Race 5, no changes. Race 6, number 3, PD's Rum Runner, now driven by Harold Finn Jr. Also in race 6, we have a scratch the 2, Jet Ed. Jet Ed is scratched. Race 7, a driver's change. Number 2, Bold Victor, now driven by Connor Prather. Race 8, no changes. Race 9, number 4, Dooleyville Lou, now driven by Harold Finn Jr. And number 5, Lou's Miracle, now driven by Wyatt Avenetti. Race 10, no changes. Race 11, 2 driver changes. On the 1, Addy Beach U-Tuit, now driven by Jaquavian Carter. And number 3, Seaside Streaker, now driven by Quajavian Carter. So the 1 is Jaquavian and the 3, Quajavian. Race 12, no changes. And race 13, no changes. Those are the updates to the program that we have currently. If we get more as the program moves along, we will give them to you as soon as possible. We will get underway here at 6:30 as soon as we are all ready.
David, I'm going to leave Scott up.
Okay.
But I will let you do some talking here while I try to go in and
do some updating. We went through last night. We had our busy night up there in Cambridge in the Henry County Fair. And on the way down here, I tasked Lisa with a job to go through the results and see how many multiples we had for the winners last night's card. And it looks like we had the dominant trainer was the other night was David Avenetti with 3 winners on the evening. So congratulations to the whole Avenetti family in the racing stable over there. And on top of that, Wyatt had a heck of a night. 6 wins on 12 races, almost got that 7th. And Jaquavian Fat Man Carter got 2 wins on the night last night. So congratulations to all of our big winners yesterday evening at the Henry County Fair up in Cambridge.
All right.
Is she up? I just noticed we had another announcer over there in the grandstand.
Wait, she's not up.
Okay, just checking.
And I'm having some struggles here, so I'm going to have to.
No worries.
It's telling my file is busy. No,
Well, then,
it's not busy.
We'll also give a shout out. We've one of our most helpful people in helping us get today's broadcast going here at Newton. It's a first time we've been to this fair. It's kind of new territory for us, but Jacqueline Finn has been absolutely helpful, super helpful, getting us all the resources we need. And we want to wish her mother, Julia, was it Tummers, over in Mitchell, Indiana. Thank you for watching and tuning in to Harness Tube. Hope you're enjoying the Newton harness races from the Jasper County Fair 2025. Just combing through some of my notes over here to see if there's anything I need to be saying or talking about.
Yeah, for some reason, David, my sheet did not work on that first race.
First race? Okay.
So I've had to go in and redo some things. Okay.
Well, let me go. I don't have the point total. I can't give it.
Oh.
I thought maybe that was on the sheet too, but it wasn't.
No.
Don't worry about pulling it up or anything.
Yeah, we'll get but you can explain to them what we do with that.
Yeah, sure. We are having a competition, a pick'em, if you will. Oh, and that's a good time to talk about. We have a guest picker tonight in our pick'em competition.
And driver.
Yeah, that was so. So what we do is each of us on the broadcast team, and we try to grab a guest handicapper each fair, picks who we think is going to finish first, second, and third. And then if we get those horses right, if we get the first place horse right, that gets us 10 points. If we get the second place horse right, that's 5. If we get the third place horse, that's 3. And if we get any of the top 3 in the wrong order, but still in the top 3, we gives ourselves 1 point for each horse. In doing that, the totals Steve has over there, but our guest picker tonight was supposed to be and is Harold H. Finn. H had a spill after the Carlinville races a couple weeks ago and cracked some ribs and maybe broke some bones in his back, and wasn't sure if he's going to be able to drive here tonight at his home fair, his home track, his home stable. But unfortunately, I think I heard word that maybe Randall Finn isn't doing great, ended up maybe some heat stroke or something, ended up in the hospital himself. So Harold's taking the lines back over tonight. I saw him on the track. He looks good. Looks a lot better than I would be if I had cracked ribs and trying to hold on to a 1,000-pound animal. But we wish him the best of luck. And his picks will be included in our handicapping tonight. And we'll see if another horseman can make me look silly with the picks tonight. Although you're making me look silly with the newbies.
I have the lead right now by about 5 to 7 points there. I can give those totals to you real quick.
No worry. I just was trying to get to that point.
I really want to give them.
I can't tell where you're at. I'm just trying to fill.
I'm leading the 753 here, and David has 742 on the year. Lisa 676, and so that's where we are for the season so far. And then we'll give you the nightly version of that as we get going here.
You know, Steve, we got down here a little bit early today. I didn't work today, so we got to our Airbnb and checked in. And we've been staying at the Airbnbs while we travel. And I tell you what, that's been really enjoyable, like finding hidden gems down here in southeastern Illinois. We landed a place today on Lake Olney. Beautiful little place. It was like a shop or a cabin they converted into an Airbnb. And I'll be looking forward to drinking coffee tomorrow morning, looking out over the lake while we work on getting tomorrow's broadcast ready to go.
You're not going to take the kayak out?
I would probably tip that thing over. I'm top heavy, man. Come on. We got Scott Nance in the chat. Hey, Scott, thanks for following along. What, are you a kayaker?
Am I a kayaker? I yak a lot, but there's no kai to it.
I'll take it. Well, there was kayaks and a canoe, wasn't there?
Yeah, couple kayaks and a canoe. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome to have those things available to you at those Airbnbs.
Well, I tell you what, it's also awesome having friends like Kurt Becker text you with vital information that he knows, that only he knows. But Kurt just texted me and said the MC in the grandstand is Cheryl K. Ernst. She was a clerk of course here for racing for many, many years. She's a big horse race fan and a fair board member. So we want to thank her for all she's done getting the races going here at the Jasper County Fair.
Well, Kurt Becker, do we know that guy? Haven't seen him for.
Weren't you listening to him yesterday on the radio?
Well, yeah, I was. Is that the same guy that moved from the curve up into the booth yesterday and did a fantastic job?
Kurt's going big time. I tell you what, we're so fortunate to have Kurt announcing these fair races, these county fair horse racing for us. He's a world-class MC, a world-class mind, for racing knowledge and trivia, and the consummate professional. I try to tell him how good he is when I see him, but it just never does it justice. Kurt is the best.
Absolutely, one of the best in the business.
I was talking to Scott last night, and Scott's doing a great job for being a newbie and starting out here. I'm not very good at it. I can fill in if need be, but we're thankful to have Scott. We have such huge shoes to fill here in Illinois between both Beckers, Kurt and Carl alike, as well as Ed Teefee. I mean, we've had some of the best announcers in the Midwest, all kind of Hall of Fame type guys, all hitting these county fairs for the last 50 years or whatever. So we're really spoiled, and Scott's got some big shoes, but he's doing a great job picking them up and taking right off.
Yeah, and talking with him last night, I mean, he's not as comfortable, he says, with the larger field of horses, but he did an excellent job last night keeping things
Cheryl,
moving.
In the grandstand, we
Absolutely.
are ready to begin. If you have your anthem singer.
I do. Test. Is our mic good now?
I can hear you.
It was the squeal that we had a while ago that I was hoping would go away. Sounds good. So everybody would please stand and remove your hats.
We'll have the Star Spangled Banner. We are not tapped into that microphone, folks. So
I was wondering. I should have asked you.
Okay, David, she is not up in our system.
Oh, I keep forgetting that. You're right.
Yep. So I'll let you go ahead and talk. I've got a couple
Thank you
more
very much,
changes.
Cheryl. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the first of 2 days of harness racing here at the Jasper County Fair. It's a lovely evening, a little breezy despite the heat. You folks over in the grandstand in the shade should have a pretty enjoyable evening. We are ready to go. Attention in the barn area. Starters for race 1, bring your horses to the track. Race 1, starters, come to the track.
Okay, what's the initials for Quajavian? What's he go by?
Fat Man. Or JJ.
JJ, okay. I'm just going to put JJ.
Jai.
Okay. All right, I messed up there.
You know, Steve, I think we're teaching the officials how to use. I can't find anything. How to use the
Ladies and
technology.
Race 1.
Oh, really?
Starters are out.
Randy's over there asking if you got any chalk bet today.
Oh. Oh, Randy.
Watch the races, Randy.
Stay focused. Let's go over the race 1 picks here, David, if you can, if we have a moment before Scott starts.
He's got the mic up, doesn't he, going for the post
Officials
parade?
tell me that we will be having post parades tonight. The fields will parade to the post.
I tell you what, I'm going to go to a commercial real
Okay,
quick.
cool.
Do you like to watch horse racing?
Yeah.
Do you not want to pay money for a stupid horse racing channel?
Yeah.
Are you sadly allergic to horses and you can't see them?
Yeah.
Well, introducing Harness Tube, established 2023.
Hey, I need to try this out.
You can watch it at your son's ball game.
Let's go, son.
You can watch it while eating.
Ladies and
Last but
gentlemen,
not
let's
least,
meet
you
the
can
field
watch
for
it while
today's
you're
first
sleeping.
race, the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old filly trot Division 1, sponsored by the CME Fin Bin Construction Company for a purse of $2,484. Number 1, a washy name has been scratched. Number 2, So Darn Lucky, owned by Kurt and Leo Grummel of Carrollton, trained by Kurt Grummel. Connor Prather will drive. Number 3, Battle Shoe Honey, owned, trained, and driven by Clay Simpson of Fairfield. Number 4, Classy Little Lady. Jerry Mims is the owner of Vardaman, Mississippi. He trains and drives. And number 5, Betting on You, owned by Larry Longnecker of Sumner, trained and driven by Darla Martin Lohman. That is your 4-horse field for today's first race, sponsored by the CME Fin Bin Construction Company. First of 13 races coming up today. Should be a nice evening. Hopefully we'll get the program in just a little over 3 hours. But it's a beautiful way to spend an evening here at the Jasper County Fair.
I'll let you talk about yours and the
quick handicapping here. Actually, because Harold and I went very similar. I went 2-5-4 in this, using So Darn Lucky on top. He did as well. We both used Betting on You coming in second. We differed on our third choice. I went to the 4, Classy Little Lady and Jerry Mims. I watched him have a strong mile over at Springfield. He went to the 3, Battle Shoe Honey and Clay Simpson. Where are the Surratts at on this one?
Well, we picked the 1-horse, so not to win, but we picked the 5-horse, Betting on You, the Darla Martin Lohman horse. We like that horse, both of us do, and so we went with that for the first pick. And for the second pick, both of us are now going to have the 2, and for the third pick, we're going to have the 1. We're just going to pick up 1 point as far as that's concerned on that. So we're going to go.
It all comes
5,
down
2, 1.
To Darla versus Connor in this one for our points, huh?
Yep.
Looks like.
Yep.
That's what we need to keep our eyes on.
That's
Scott says he likes Darla. She's tough, and I'd have to agree with Scott. At these county fairs, she knows the track. She knows her horses. She doesn't get too excited, drive ahead of herself or anything. It's not definitely a good pick to always pick Darla at these county fairs.
Absolutely. As we get ready to go here. A warm night. They are going to do post parades. I was hoping with the weather that they would not do that, David. I'll just be pretty upfront about that. Is that it would have been nice to cut it a little shorter tonight.
It wouldn't have been bad, but we'll see what happens. They might, if they run long, they might just cut them. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see what the feedback is as they're gathering up back there in the back. Did you give your stats from the races from last night?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I
was caught up in
while
those
you were
drivers.
doing the driver's changes. Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to get someone online now who texts me looking for help. It's kind of an important one. It was my mother, so I got to take care of her. And Mom, if you're listening, no, she's not listening. She can't find it. Anyway, so let's see. They're still not at the gate, are they? So we are still doing some dialogue, huh?
Yeah, it looks like it. I think everybody's on. Everybody's been announced. They're headed toward the gate.
Here they are. There's the gate.
I want to thank Lisa Surratt, my wife. She does a great
And
job
now
on
the field
camera.
begins to form up. behind the starting car. The car rolling gradually as the field catches up to it. We'll be getting race 1 underway here very shortly. 4 horses to the gate. Don't forget, we did scratch the 1 Owashi name. If you are playing Pick a Winner, don't pick number 1. The field now approaches the grandstand, ready to get race 1 underway in just a few seconds. Here they come. The gate accelerates. The wings fold in. They're off and trotting in today's first race. Out to the early lead. Barely is So Darn Lucky on the rail. So Darn Lucky now extending that lead as Classy Little Lady drops into second. Third is side by side is Battle Shoe Honey and Betting on You. Now Battle Shoe Honey slips up and takes a commanding third as Betting on You drops into fourth. The leader on the backstretch now is So Darn Lucky, but making an effort to pass is Classy Little Lady. Classy Little Lady side by side with So Darn Lucky. Looks to have a head in front of So Darn Lucky. Those two very close side by side as they head to the north turn now for the first time in race 1. The first quarter in 32 and 2. 32 and 2/5, your time for the first quarter mile. Classy Little Lady getting ahead in front now. Maybe your leader when they come by the grandstand. Classy Little Lady. Got a break on 3. Battle Shoe Honey has broken stride, but that did not affect the battle up front for the lead between Classy Little Lady and So Darn Lucky. It's those two virtually side by side, but Classy Little Lady still has a head in front as they go by the grandstand. The half mile in 103 and 1/5. 103 and 1. Now as they make their way through that south turn, So Darn Lucky got ahead in front, is up by a neck over Classy Little Lady. Those two have been battling the first half mile side by side. Now they even up again as they're just entering the backstretch in today's first race. Back in second is Betting on You with Darla Martin Lohman, and trailing the field after breaking stride is Battle Shoe Honey. They're still side by side up front, though. So Darn Lucky on the inside, Classy Little Lady on the outside. This one is going to come right down to the wire if things stay the way they are. The 3 quarters in 134. 134 flat, your time for the 3 quarters. As they went by the 3 quarters, though, and midway through the north turn, Classy Little Lady made a move and has now extended into first all by herself. Classy Little Lady is your leader as they come to the grandstand. Here comes Classy Little Lady. Betting on You made a late charge. Betting on You going to be second, and So Darn Lucky third as Classy Little Lady gets under the wire. Coming in fourth, Battle Shoe Honey. The mile in 2:07 and 4. 2:07 and 4/5, your time for the mile.
Good mile, Steve. How about that for 3-year-old trotting fillies? 2.7, wasn't it? Flat? 2.7 and 4, maybe. I can't read my own. No. You know, I really had a lot of confidence in Connor on that one with the Gremmel trainee there, but just wasn't meant to be. I tell you what, Jerry Mims hanging tough on the outside and just driving on by. Jerry knows how to hang up these young trotters. He does a good job. He won a big mile at Springfield with actually a Tom Shin bred horse on Saturday, I think it was. So Jerry definitely knows what he's doing with these young trotters for sure. But a good mile, a good maybe only 4-horse race, but we still had a competition most of the time. That's what makes it fun. Hey, I'll take it. I said it came down to Connor versus Darla, and Jerry blew it up.
I thought Darla was going to have enough there at the end to win that race, but I think the two in front of her a little bit out.
Yeah, you know, I thought Connor did a great job driving that. He sat real chilly, didn't get too excited, kind of let
Ladies
Jerry
and
sit
gentlemen,
out there.
back in front of the grandstand now, your winner of race 1, owned, trained, and driven by Jerry Mims. It's Classy Little Lady. And picks up a win in the first start this year for this horse. Sponsored by the CME Finn Bin Construction Company. Of note, the fact that Classy Little Lady, bred by the late Tom Shin of Newton, Illinois. Tom would have been very excited
But both
to see
of those
this horse in the winner's
horses.
circle today. Classy Little Lady, home in a mile of 2:07 and 4/5. Race 1 is official. If you'd like to write the fractions down in your program, the first quarter 32 and 2, the half mile in 103 and 1, the 3 quarters in 134 and 4, 134 and 4,
34 and 4.
and the mile 2:07 and 4/5. Order of finish from the top down. Number 1, Awashi Name was scratched. So Darn Lucky finished 3rd. 3, Battle Shoe Honey finished 4. 4, Classy Little Lady was the winner. And 5, Betting on You, the runner-up. Therefore, from the top down, scratch 3, 4, 1, 2. Race 1 is official. Coming up in race 2, it's Division 2 of the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old filly trot. The Jane Excavating and Welding Race. They sponsor race 2 for a purse of $2,484. Remember, folks, there is a change in race 2. A driver's change.
Wait before you go and get your snacks
Will now be
and
driven
drinks.
by Archie.
Make sure to subscribe and like to Harness Tubes. If you can't do that, just give us a thumbs up. Alright, to the show.
David, absolutely love your son's commercials, but please like and subscribe. They're to the point there. Both our Facebook and our YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so we get some things from YouTube considerations there. And so we're about, 130, 135 away from that number.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so we'd love it if you could like or subscribe to us, but subscribe and put down to get the notifications. If you put down notifications, my wife was wondering, she wasn't getting notified, David, even though she had subscribed to the channel, but she had turned notifications off. And so she found out, turn the notifications on, she gets notified when we go on the air.
This is one of the things that if you're listening to us now, you probably do want our notifications. We're kind of a little close-knit community, so most of our followers, go ahead and make sure you double-check that your notifications are on so that you get an email or a push notification whenever we go live.
Absolutely. We'd love for you to do that as we get ready for race 2 coming up.
Last night I was talking about, and we got in the chat here, Mikey, that's not even on the screen there. Mikey Rogers' sister Carmen's in our chat. She was the one that Mikey said would be giving me a hard time, and she's catching up on last night's races now and heard us talking about her. But we're glad to have her in the chat here. We appreciate her following along. And, of course, always wish Mikey success when he's on the track, and safety, of course. But we're ready for race 2? Is that where we're at?
Race 2. Let's handicap race 2 while we're at it.
Okay, cool. Am I going first for the two of us? Race 2. I went, let's see. Oh, H and us, we're all the same, guys. Come on, we all went 3-2-4 on this one. No points will be awarded no matter what happens. We can just kick back and watch this race and enjoy it.
I'm still going to keep my lead, aren't I?
Yeah, for one more race. But we'll go ahead and talk about these horses. I think it's important to talk about the horses, even if we don't, just to kind of highlight the horsemen that we're featuring, we're talking about. So 3 horse, I went Shady Maple Becky. Of course, we all went that route. 3 for 3 in the last 3 starts. Tough to overlook for Marcus Detweiler, owned, trained, and driven. For our second choice, we went to Darla again. Trixie Sugar Baby. That horse is ultra tough at these county fairs. Darla's good at here at the Jasper County Fair. She'll be in the mix for sure. And our third choice, I tell you what, this is interesting now. You put Archie Buford, nothing against Jacob Radel, but you put Archie Buford in the bike, and this might help this horse out a lot. I don't know if he can keep him flat to get a nice flat mile, but he'll definitely put a little faster mile under this horse. with a little more aggressive driving style. So we'll see what happens, but it could get shaken up now with that driver change.
Okay, now I got to bring it up.
Just what?
The song Little Bunny
Frou Frou?
Frou Frou. My wife said, I remember there was a song, and so what did she do? She put it up, and she played it, and she played it, and she played it.
Little
she
bunny Frou Frou hopping through the forest, picking up the field mice and bopping them on the head.
She goes, I wonder if David knows that.
Absolutely, 100%. I think Grandma Hire sang that to me, I'm pretty sure. Someone did. Yes, it was Grandma Hire. That must be a golden thing. It definitely came from North Adams County, I think.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious.
But not just Adams County, because Jacob Bradle knew about it with his horse's name, so he had some recollection of that song, too. It's a thing.
Okay, my childhood thing is I like...
There's a hand motion, too. Little bunny foo foo.
Yeah, I got that the other night.
Okay, there we go, there we go.
I got the full throttle.
I'm just glad the camera wasn't pointed on me there.
Yeah. Yeah, but the microphone was on.
That's all right.
All right. Again, we're in Newton, and if the Finns are listening to this, I'm still wanting Big Fig Newton.
Big
Big Fig Newton.
We're live.
Oh, she's passing notes.
Yes, we're good. We're good there.
All right.
I'm looking at the chat here. We got Jacqueline thanking us for coming down. We thank you for all your hospitality. We got Al Brodsky, our photographer, giving us the 1 to 5 odds on Shady Maple Becky. I think we'll probably have to agree with that one. You wouldn't get much of a paid return if you're betting that horse in this race. But we also got Bridget from Decatur's watching. Thanks for tuning in and following along here at the Newton races today.
Yeah, we'll be in this area a lot coming up. If the southern to up toward Decatur area seems to be a hotbed for a lot of things that we do, because we've got Paris Urbana
there
coming
are
up.
So many
Farmer
horses.
City coming up.
We can go. Charleston,
Altamont.
Fairfield, Altamont, Marshall, Martinsville, Greenup.
We don't have Fairfield,
Urbana.
do
I'm
we?
just thinking all these places that race it within like an hour of each other. This area is so concentrated with. Here you go, Steve. There's always a future horses with the name Big Fig Newton. So they are listening. We are getting your ideas out there in the ether.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Jacqueline.
I think it's funny. I was talking to her the other day, and they have a horse, and I think today or tomorrow, Dooleyville Refill, and she called the horse Clyde. Like, how are you going to call a horse named Dooleyville Refill Clyde and not Phil? She's like, well, we called him Clyde before you named him Phil, but stall names and horse names are the funniest things ever, because I guarantee most of those horses on the backstretch wouldn't know their given name if you said it to their ear right in front of their face.
Now talk about that, David. The naming of the horses a lot of time, because if you've got a line of horses that's been a good breed, we see names carry over.
You'll often see, if it's a breeding farm, they'll stamp their name on it. You'll see like Fox Valley, ABC, Fox Valley, XYZ. Shady Maple, you'll see stamp their name on stuff, but you'll also see the parents give their name to the child. So, for instance, I'm looking in this race, I'm trying to find a good example, and there are no good examples in this race, of course. Well, let's look at Frou Frou is the mare of Little Bunny Frou Frou, so that name kind of came from that. He had that Frou Frou in his mind and had to come up with something clever with it, and Little Bunny Frou Frou was it. So you'll see names that are playing on words in the mom's name or the dad's name, or maybe the owner has a stable name they like. Back in the old days, the Mount Sterling crowd, there was a guy named Gib McNeff, and he named all of his horses Buckhorn this and Buckhorn that.
Number 2, starters are out.
I'll keep his microphone up, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't Irv Miller use Illini in a lot of his?
No, the Illini is the University of Illinois breeding farm. So I think they actually shut that breeding program down, but there for years they stood sires, and they had mares, and they actually put out foals from the University of Illinois equine program, and oftentimes you'd see them named Illini something, and quite often they ended up in Kevin Miller's barn or maybe over in Irv. But yeah, they they were familiar with those horses being from, the Arthur area, Urbana-Champaign for sure. And I think we have the post parade coming in a couple seconds, so I'll just keep my eye on Scott right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the field in today's second race, the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old filly trot Division II, sponsored by Jane Excavating and Welding. Number 1 is Exhibition, owned by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, Illinois, trained by Jill Brown. Chris Brown is in the bike. Number 2, Trixie's Sugar Baby, owned by Chuck Doring of Brownstown, Darla Martin Lohman of Effingham. She trains and drives. Number 3, Shady Maple Becky, owned, trained, and driven by Marcus Detweiler of Sullivan, Illinois. And number 4, Little Bunny Frou Frou, owned by Jacob and Elizabeth Radel of Edgewood. Jacob Radel is the trainer, and a late driver's change as Little Bunny Frou Frou goes by the grandstand. That is Archie Buford in the bike. 4 starters to the gate in race 2 today.
You're good.
I was just mentioning that I liked Archie Buford's orange and green colors.
Archie's a good guy, yeah, and he got that sharp helmet paint job, and it looks really, really, his colors are nice and bright and shiny. He must have got a new set recently because they look good out there on the track. I got a really pertinent chat for us up here on the screen. Bridget, she had one of her memories from Newton. It's always hot here, and it turns out it's hot today as well, but she remembers her dad telling her to put her feet in a bucket of cold water to cool herself off as a kid. And, I remember seeing the Graham kids, the Graham twins, when they were really little, in a bucket of water playing, as babies. So those kind of memories are definitely horseman memories through and through.
Yeah, we've talked about it. Your early memories of harness racing are some of the cherished memories that you have. Mine early on with some people that I knew that had horses and actually stabled over in Mount Sterling and Rushville and Griggsville, and that's when I grew close to harness racing and getting to know those horses. And back to the names, they had, the Timely series, and each of the nieces got a horse.
Yeah, there was what?
And so it was Timely.
Tony and Angie.
Trina,
was there an Angie?
And, well, the ones I remember, Tanya, Tony, and Trina were
okay, yeah, they were
three.
T's, you're right.
That's because everybody in that family starts with a T.
I was trying to think of that mare's name, that old mare that Gene had, but it's slipping me right now.
It was probably something different. But, I hold those memories and cherish those memories of watching those people. We'd love to hear from you.
We love these
call it
memories,
from the backstretch. Throw those out there. We love sharing those memories of harness racing.
And now the field has gathered itself behind the gate. The gate is rolling. Going to get organized here as they come around, ready to start race 2.
Remind me.
Exhibition was on a break at the top of the stretch there. Doesn't look like going to get back up to the gate in time for the start. Exhibition was breaking way before the wire. Meanwhile, they're off and trotting. In today's second race, out to the early lead is Shady Maple Becky. Shady Maple Becky becomes your leader as they swing through the south turn. Trixie Sugar Baby is in second, and Little Bunny Frou Frou in third. Exhibition still trails the field like she did at the beginning. Little Bunny Frou Frou moves up into second now as Trixie Sugar Baby was breaking as well through the south turn, but the leader still Shady Maple Becky, almost completely through the back stretch already, and hits the quarter pole in 31-2, your time for the first quarter. Shady Maple Becky was the leader after the first quarter, but swinging back around now. Here comes Little Bunny Frou Frou and Archie Buford trying to make a contest out of it in the first half mile. They swing now to the top of the stretch and head back to the grandstand after the first trip around this half-mile track here at Newton. They come by the grandstand, though, as Little Bunny Frou Frou takes the lead at the half mile by a neck over Shady Maple Becky. Those two, 1-2. Little Bunny Frou Frou on the outside, Shady Maple Becky on the inside. The half mile in 1:02 and 2. They're trading the lead back and forth here between Shady Maple Becky and Little Bunny Frou Frou. Shady Maple Becky got the lead back up as they're now on the backstretch, as Shady Maple Becky is in front by just a neck. It's some distance back to Exhibition in third, and a distant fourth is Trixie's Sugar Baby. Meanwhile, the two leaders up by side is Shady Maple Becky on the inside, Little Bunny Frou Frou on the outside. The 3/4 in 133 flat, 133 flat. Little Bunny Frou Frou gets ahead as they swing through the north turn. Little Bunny Frou Frou ahead by a neck. Now they're side by side at the top of the stretch. Little Bunny Frou Frou on the outside, Shady Maple Becky on the inside. It's going to be these two side by side as both drivers making an extreme effort to cajole their horse towards the wire. But Archie Buford gets the win with Little Bunny Frou Frou by half a length. Shady Maple Becky in second. Here comes Chris Brown with Exhibition to take third, and Darla Martin Lohman with Trixie's Sugar Baby will be fourth. The mile in 2:07 flat, 2:07.
Well, Steve, I hate to sound like a soothsayer or seer or anything, but I just was talking about how Archie Buford might step that horse up and surprise us all, and sure enough, he put in a heck of a drive. Just a different style, different balance, different weight. It's a completely, different feel for the horse. Surprised me, but I kind of had a hunch that there might be some improvement there. So congratulations to Jacob Bradle, Archie Buford, Little Bunny Frou for the winner of today's second race.
And Darla Martin Lohman had issues with her horse.
Made a break. I didn't see what happened. She was up close to the third, going like to the third turn. She made a break or something, going to the three-quarter pole maybe or something. But I mentioned before the last race during the first race, handicapping. I picked Jerry Mims's horse because I saw him win with a trotter at Springfield, bred by Tom Shin, and my mouse was over my program, and I completely missed that Tom Shin also bred the winner of that first race. How special for that horse to come home. It was born right here in Jasper County to end up back in the winner's circle at the county fair just a short time later.
A good race as we get going with race 3. We're waiting for the officials.
Did you see Archie doing a little showboating there across the wire?
No, I didn't see
He tucked his whip in a very confident manner, I'll say.
Okay.
Archie's got a big personality. He's a great guy, a lot of fun. He's a guy I caught. We were at Springfield a couple years back, and he was riding a horse across the backstretch to make his Lasix appointment. Lasix is like a water retention medicine, and he had to make it across the backstretch, and so he didn't want to lead it across. He hopped on its back and rode it bareback, probably a quarter mile to the other barn.
Back in front of the grandstand, the winner of race 2, number 4, Little Bunny Frou Frou. Owned by Jacob and Elizabeth of Edgewood. Jacob Bradle is the trainer. That's Archie Buford in the bike. Good to see Archie pick up a win today. This is Little Bunny Frou Frou's first win of the season in 6 starts. This race sponsored by Jane Excavating and Welding. We appreciate their sponsorship and support of the harness racing program here at the Jasper County Fair, as the connections of Little Bunny Frou Frou accept that blanket.
Boy, that was a very calm horse. That was probably one of the calmest.
Congratulations, Archie, and to Jacob and Elizabeth Radel.
Here we were talking about how good the odds would have been on that horse.
Ladies and gentlemen, race 2 is official. Here come your fractions. The first quarter in 31 2. The half mile in 102 2/5. The 3/4 in 133 flat. And the mile in 2:07 flat. Order of finish, number 1, Exhibition, finished 3rd. Number 2, Trixie's Sugar Baby, was 4th. 3, Shady Maple Becky, was 2nd. And 4, Little Bunny Frou Frou was your winner. Therefore, from the top down, it is 3-4-2-1. Race 2 is official. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, is race 3. The 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Trot Division 1. It's the Tom Shin Memorial for a purse of $2,503 coming up in just a few minutes. Cheryl, go ahead and play Pick a Winner.
Make plans now to attend the 27th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale, which takes place on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Once again this year, the catalog will offer not only a strong lineup of Illinois conceived and foaled yearlings, but also an excellent supporting cast of colts and fillies eligible to other state-bred programs in the Midwest and on the Eastern Seaboard. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
All right, David, we did not, because we all picked the same, we all got 2 measly points that time.
It's a slow last couple nights for the home team, huh?
Yeah. There is, you're leading the pack tonight, though.
With 10.
We have several sponsors. There are signs along the street.
But you've got a total of 5 points out there, and the rest of us only have 4.
Hey, it's got to pick up something. It's a long night yet.
It is. It is, and again, we want to hear from you. You've got some chats
We've
out
got
there you
some
want to
stuff.
share.
You know, we gave a shout out earlier to Julia Tummers over there in Indiana. That's Jacqueline's mom. I want to thank her for watching. She was tickled to be able to follow along. She always asks if she can watch them online. You know, and this is what we like to do. And we like bringing the races to those family and friends who can't make it. So we thank you for following along over there in Indiana. We have another one here, if I can find it, scroll up. Carmen Rogers, Mikey's sister again. Oh, it doesn't show the whole thing. One said, as a kid, I don't appreciate or know how lucky I was to be able to go to every county fair in the state of Illinois. But it for sure one of the most fond memories of my childhood, and that sums it up quite nicely. I think we all remember, you know, all these fairs so vividly, and we, you know, take it for granted how spoiled we are as kids to travel around day to day from fair to fair and all the excitement.
Absolutely. You can send those messages to us on the YouTube channel. You can text David at 312-772-5122, or you can send him an email. We'd love to see some pictures. If you're doing a watch party, let's take a picture of the watch party.
Well, I've got one here. Surprising, well, it's not a watch party, but I have a viewer down in Oak Grove who should probably be here. We got J.D. Finn watching down there in Oak Grove. J.D., that barn right there was his stable for many, many years. His son Jared kind of took over. They worked together. But J.D., interesting fact, J.D. was the first winner of the – Illinois used to have the $1 million bonus. If you won 3 of the 4 big races for the year, Springfield, DeCoin, Cardinal and Violet, maybe Night of Champions or whatever it was, Super Night at the time, State of Illinois would cut you a check for $1 million, and J.D. had a nice trotting filly named Coochie in 1994 and won that first one. I think he won it again maybe a time or two later, but a heck of a horseman, you know, a heck of a trotting man, and we're missing him here tonight. He should be here watching from live.
Absolutely should be. And David, weather has a lot of effect. Let's talk about the weather part of this on harness racing and on the horsemen. And what precautions do they normally take during this warmer weather? I mean, county fair weather is hot, steamy, humid.
Yep, you know, and about all you can do is just make sure you give the horses plenty of water. Cool them off, bathe them properly. You know, the old days they used to put what they called coolers on horses. They were heavy blankets. You wanted to keep those muscles warm. And if the horse got too hot, you'd take a cooler off, you'd put a towel over their back. Anymore, we use fly sheets, a lot lighter blankets. It's warm enough. These horses don't need to keep that kind of muscle warmth that they used to. They're kind of bred to go a little bit differently. You know, we used to go 2 or 3 heats in a day. Now we go 1 heat, probably at a faster rate, kind of a one-and-gun shot. So just keep the water to them, keep them bathed, monitor them. You know, look for any kind of thing that might look their eyes looking off or anything like that. But more importantly, the horsemen. You know, the horses we're paying close attention to, but sometimes the horsemen don't pay attention to each other, and they might get a little overheated. So horsemen on the backstretch, watch out for each other. Offer each other some bottles of water or Diet Cokes or something. Keep yourselves cool back there.
Well, probably not a Diet Coke. Again, people would tell you, I have heard that for every ounce of caffeine you drink, you have to drink 2 ounces of water to replace how that's going to dehydrate you in the process.
You're probably right, you know.
But the fact is you have to do that. But other things that they do out there, you know, we heard this because of what's going on at Oak Grove. Normally they race
Yes.
at 1:30 in the afternoon, and they've moved those races. If you're watching Oak Grove, it'll be on at 9 o'clock in the morning.
It was 9 a.m. today. They had some Sire Stakes action tomorrow, I think 9 a.m. as well. I think Wednesday might be like a 12. They moved up the post a little bit, 11:30 maybe or something like that. But, yeah, all the horsemen are definitely trying to move the races up to avoid the heat. You know, a lot of for the horsemen as well, for all of the drivers, trainers, grooms who are in those hot stalls, you know, hustling and bustling around, you know, keep them safe as well. So looking out for them. But we're here. We've got a nice breeze. Everyone looks bright-eyed out there, so I think we're good.
All right, let's take a look at race 3 if you'd like to handicap that one for us, David.
Sure, looking at race 3, we all went pretty similar here. Once again, H, the closer, and I were similar or exactly alike in our picks. We went 3-2-5 in this race. One trip, Chip put in a heck of a mile, cut the mile, and just was beaten by a length and a half at Springfield. Last start out, a nice mile in the Cardinal. Second choice went to Hidalgo Otis, and I got Harold Finn driving this one. So he trains it. He should know the horse. Let's hope those ribs aren't bugging him too much and he can drive around here for a second place finish. My third choice went down to Lou Beduino for Chris and Jill Brown. Where are the Surratts at?
Well, 3-2-5 for Lisa. She's
the same too. Okay.
She's the same, but I went 3-2-1. Twin Cedars Delaney.
Steve's trying to come up with some points somehow.
I am. I'm really hoping that, you know, that one difference will make a difference, even though I didn't know that when I picked it.
We got Al Brodsky in the trot. This doesn't sound like a bad time. Harness Tube on the computer screen and Cubs cards on the TV screen. It's a pretty good evening, huh?
And Al, I hate to tell you, I'm hoping the Cardinals are winning.
Harness Tube hopes the Cardinals win. We'll say that, but
yeah.
We'll let Al have his Cubs dome. It's fine.
We're getting ready for the parade here.
Got a first-time watcher from Charleston. Want to thank you for following along tonight. Jana Adkins. And I think Scott should be doing the post-parade in about 3 seconds.
Yeah, I did. We like Charleston. We're going to be there for 3 days.
We like Charleston. They're good to us. There's a lot of good horsemen down there.
Ladies and gentlemen, race 3 today is the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old colt and gelding trot. It's Division 1, the Tom Shin Memorial. Let's meet the starters. Number 1, Twin Cedars Delane, leased by Marcus Detweiler of Sullivan. He trains and drives. Number 2, Hidalgo Otis, owned, trained, and driven by Harold Finn Jr. That's a late driver's change in your program. 3, One Trip Chip, owned by Ron Phillips of Athens. Sherry Boldovich of Lakewood, Colorado. Lyle Lipe of Springfield, trained and driven by Jamaica Patton. Number 4, It's Monkey C, owned by Jacob Radel of Edgewood, trained by Oscar Johnson Jr., and Archie Buford is in the bike. And number 5, Lou Beduino, owned by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown. Chris Brown is driving. Some of you may have noticed that in the program, this is the Tom Shin Memorial. Many of you knew Tom right here from Newton. Tom was an owner and a breeder and a charter here and a friend, but a mentor to many. He was a true horseman who believed in doing right by the animals and the people around him. This racetrack right here at Jasper County was his home, and his presence left a mark that will not fade. Tom's legacy lives on not only in the memory, but in the horses that carried his hopes to the winner's circle. Horses like Soxy's Sister, owned and raced by Tom and trained by the Gorel family, was one of his proudest achievements. Winner of the Great Midwest Trot, the Illinois Big Ten champion, and runner-up at the Illinois State Fair. Her grit on the track reflected Tom's spirit off of it. There was a horse named Big Old Ruby Redress, a filly Tom bred with great care and vision. An Illinois State Fair champion at both 2 and 3, and the fastest Illinois bed trotting filly ever at those ages. And though Tom sold her as a yearling to Jerry Mims, her journey was just beginning. Jerry broke the 2-year-old trot record at the Jasper County Fair with her, and then sold her on the backstretch that same day for $35,000. Under trainer Tex Motes and owner Steve Newcomb, she went on to capture both State Fair championships which was another testament to the foundation that Tom laid. Tom's legacy is not simply about success on the track. It was about his love for the sport. Tom saw potential where others saw risk. He cared for his horses like family, and he believed in the long game, in breeding, in life, and in racing. Today, before the third race right now, where we're going to honor Tom, we remember a man whose impact is still felt here at the Jasper County Fair and whose memory will linger with every race that follows. We sure miss Tom up here in the judges' stand. Here comes the field for race 3, Division 1 of the 3-year-old Colton Gelding Trot. 5 horses to the gate. We do have that driver's change. Remember, Harold Finn Jr. is driving the 2 Hidalgo Otis. Got a break on 2 Hidalgo Otis at the start. They're off and trotting, and One Trip Chip is the leader as they head to the south turn. One Trip Chip on the inside, Luz Beduino second on the outside. In third, it's Monkey C, fourth, Twin Cedars Delane, and fifth, Hidalgo Otis. One Trip Chip shows the way towards the backstretch and is your leader by a length now as they're just entering the backstretch. It's One Trip Chip, followed by Luz Beduino. It's Monkey C, Twin Cedars Delane, and then 10 lengths back to Hidalgo Otis. From the start, though, it's been One Trip Chip and Jamaica Patton, the leader, followed by Lou Beduino. 31 seconds flat, your time for the first quarter, 31 seconds flat. One Trip Chip, the leader, as they come by the grandstand for the first time. They're at the top of the stretch right now. One Trip Chip, the leader, followed by Lou Beduino. Then Archie Buford and It's Monkey C. Marcus Detweiler with Twin Cedars Delane is in fourth. There they go, single file by the grandstand, completing a half mile here today in race 3. The half mile time, 1:02 flat. 1:02 flat, your time for the first half mile. It's been unchanged 1 through 5 for the first half mile, essentially, and here comes someone making a move up on the outside. It's Twin Cedars Delane moving from fourth into third, trying to get up on Lou Beduino in second. Twin Cedars Delane keeps moving, puts the hammer down, and there goes Twin Cedars Delane trying to get into second beside Lou Beduino. It's a battle for second. They're both tracing One Trip Chip, driven by Jamaica Patton. Twin Cedars Delane breaks, though, as they enter that north turn and fades back. 3/4 mile in 1:34 and 1. 1:34 and 1 for the 3/4. It's been One Trip Chip and Jamaica Patton the whole way since this race began, and that's what it looks like it's going to be as we come towards the end of race 3. One Trip Chip and Jamaica Patton. Jamaica extends that lead over Lou Beduino, who was going to maybe take second, but here comes Twin Cedars Delane in a battle for second. Unable to get up there, though. In second was Lou Beduino, followed by Twin Cedars Delane in third. Fourth, Hidalgo Otis and It's Monkey C finished fifth. The winner, One Trip Chip. The mile in 2:04 and 2. 2:04 and 2, your time for the mile.
Another nice race, Steve. I better bring you up for it. Yeah, another nice race here, and I'm glad that they had that little moment for Tom there. You know, I completely forgot that he bred that other one of Jerry Mims' horse, and I forgot that he bred the big old ruby red dress that Jerry Mims took her, and she ended up going on to become an Illinois State champion. So some great memories. Tom was a world-class harness rider, wrote articles for years and years and years, and was definitely missed this memorial race. Goes to Jamaica Patton. That horse just looked pretty good today, I think. Let's see. We all had Jamaica on top.
I got 13 points. Everybody else got 11 because I picked
So we all went
horse.
to Chris, and you went to Marcus, and that gave us some separation, huh?
It did. Now I'm the daily points leader at a whole 17 points, followed by you with 16, and Harold and Lisa 15. So it's all one race.
Hang on to that winner circle photo. Give Leanne a chance to get over there.
That puts JP 4 away from 1,000, right?
Yes. This was his first of the night. So, Yes, good call. Going into last night, Jamaica had 994 lifetime wins as a driver, picked up 1 last night, moving 1 closer within 5. This puts them within 4 at 996. You know, I know Tom liked Jamaica. I know Jamaica liked Tom. This is such an apt winner circle photo for the Tom Shin Memorial.
Today's third race, the Tom Shin Memorial. Tom's
I'm
sister
in the field.
Leanne, a longtime fixture here at the races as well.
Absolutely.
Representing her family. The winner, One Trip Chip, owned by Ron Phillips of Athens, Sherry Boldovich of Lakewood, Colorado, Lyle Lipe of Springfield. He trains and drives. That's Jamaica Patton there at the reins, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, Jamaica, and the connections of One Trip Chip. What a great way to honor Tom Shin. The mile 2:04 2/5. Race 3 is official, folks. If you'd like to write the fractions down, here they come. The first quarter in 31 flat. The half mile in 1:02 flat. The 3/4 in 1:34 1/5. And the mile 2:04 fifths. Order of finish from the top down. Number 1, Twin Cedars Delane was 3rd. Number 2, Hidalgo Otis finished 4. Number 3, One Trip Chip was your winner. Number 4, It's Monkey C finished 5. And number 5, Lou Beduino, the runner-up. So from the top down, 3, 4, 1, 5, 2. Race 3 official. Coming up, race 4, it's Division 2, the 3-year-old Colton Gelding Trot, sponsored by the People's State Bank. There are 4 entries, and at this time, we are not aware of any changes. The race should go off as programmed. We'll be back with race 4 in a little bit.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
More of those sponsors: Ginger's Garden and Gifts, Hartrick Meats, Jasper Clothiers, the Jasper County Republicans, Joe's Italian Foods.
Okay, David. It's always nice when fans come up or horsemen come up and talk to you.
Yep, that was Lester Detweiler. Marcus's dad came up and said hi to us and thanked us for what we're doing. He wanted to take a look at the setup. He wanted to see the broadcast booth, and I said it's cords and chaos and wires and it's just nuts up here, but we make it work one way or the other.
We do. It takes a little bit to get things set up, and people don't, I find this out when I'm doing Hornet Sports. They don't realize the time that it takes not only to set up, but the prep work of getting the graphics and things up on the screen. It's just not what we do here.
Right.
It's the couple of hours that all of us have in prior to this making things come up.
Absolutely, and when we get here, we got to get all the settings set up the right way and make sure there's little things that can go wrong and little things that can go right, but you know what? We're going to get this thing scaled down somehow to maybe a briefcase size if we can, to save ourselves some weight carrying up and down these grandstand bleachers. But, we're just happy to be doing it for you. Those stories like Lester coming up here and Jill Marshall last night thanking us for what we're doing, that's why we do it. It just feels so good to be appreciated, by the horsemen for what we're doing.
Absolutely. And David, it's one of those things. It's like Lisa had told me today, somebody coming up and talking about what this meant to her dad last year when he wasn't able to get around to follow the sport that he loved.
Absolutely.
Following
it
so
brought
much.
Tears to my eye when she was telling me that story.
So you say, okay, guess what? I can endure
Yes.
90-degree weather for
it makes
for
it
that.
so bearable when I know that maybe I'm helping one of my old friend horsemen, towards their later years enjoy the sport they love when they can't travel and participate the way they used to. So that makes it all worth it. Those stories, keep them coming, keep sharing them. We like sharing them with our fans. We like sharing this. We're all one big community. That's really kind of the point of Harness Tubes. We're bringing us all together. We're broadcasting, we're sharing, we're bringing your comments in. We want it to all be one big feel, one big watch party, if you will, because we're all friends. At the end of the day, we all help each other when times are tough. So we want to thank all of our followers and
absolutely.
fans.
All
Looking
right.
race 4 already, huh?
Yep, here we go, race
Okay.
4. That's
We
nice.
can do
We're a
some
quarter of the way. We're 25% through.
Something like that. Fat Man's not driving yet, is he? I haven't seen him out there.
No,
I got a shout out for him. I'm waiting. I'm sitting on it until he's racing, so I'll keep watching. But we'll handicap 4 in the meantime. Looking at race 4, let's see. How did we? Well, once again, Steve has to be the outlier and try to make up points. This is how you gain points. Is you just bet against the grain, and eventually, right or wrong, you're gonna create separation.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't see anybody's choices when I make the sheet. I mean, Lisa hides hers down at the bottom where my thumb is, and
everyone besides Steve went the same direction in this race. We went 2-1-4. Hopes to be that horse, just been ultra tough lately. On top to Senate Emmett second, and our third choice, the 4 ranging motion for Marcus Detweiler. But Steve had other ideas. Steve, where'd you go with this one?
Well, I went just a little differently. I did pick the 2 horse, but along with that, I picked the 3 horse in the 2 spot. Marcus Detweiler driven a trained horse. Every horse has got to have its first time.
I tell you what, yesterday, Fox Valley Flashy surprised all of us in her first start. None of us saw that coming, so you never know. This might be just the perfect start, and she might be ready to uncork a big mile.
And then you all picked the Travis Seekman-driven horses. Dennis Gardner trained, Sendon Emmett for the 2nd spot. I picked that for the 3rd spot. So I picked 2 out of the 3 horses, but I just arranging motion. And again, good trainer, good driver there.
Absolutely.
He'll have the parade for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, race 4 today, the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old colt and gelding trot. It's Division 2 of that category, sponsored by People's State Bank for a purse of $2,503. Number 1, Send It Emmett, owned by Dennis Gardner of West Salem. He's the trainer. Travis Seekman will drive. Number 2, Hopes DeVie, leased by LaQuinton Shavers of Brandon, Mississippi. Roshan Trigg is the trainer, and Wyatt Evanetti is in the bike. Number 3 is Ranging Motion, leased by Jason Detweiler of Sullivan, trained and driven by Marcus Detweiler. And number 4, Fox Valley Victor, owned by Perry Tillman of Bolton, Mississippi. Freddie Patton Jr. trains and drives. That's your field for race 4. The horses head to the gate.
I'll bring us up, Steve. I just was looking at our streaming numbers, and it's dropped a little bit now, but during that last race, we were at like 126, 124 for like the last 20 minutes before that. Looking at the grandstand, there's a full house here, a couple hundred people at least.
Yeah, and we'll run, 125 to 200 during a race. But what's our numbers usually a week or 2 afterwards? Because people go back and watch this, or horsemen actually go back and watch the races.
It definitely bumps up. It ends up, almost most by a week, most fairs have about, 12 to 1,500 views, it seems like. It jumps up quite a bit. But yeah, we keep 100 to 150 people most of the night when we're broadcasting. And, that's a testament to the horse fans that are out there, even if they can't travel. They do exist. We do like watching horse races. There is interest, and we at Harness Tube are proof.
And so with that, David, how many horses do you think are here tonight?
I have no idea. Go through the program.
I went through the
60,
program.
70, maybe 50.
About 60 horses here tonight.
Yeah, in 60 horses, and we're back tomorrow with another 55, 60. this fair, this area supports horse racing, and it feels good to be in an area that loves it so much. I mean, you can hear the crowd. They know what they're watching. They're reacting to the right things. They're excited to the right times. It's just a fun environment to be where people enjoy what we like so much. We've got Carlene in the chat thanking us for coming down to broadcast Newton. She's at home. She couldn't make it out, but she's watching anyway. We appreciate her following along. And I think our horses are reaching the gate, and Scott should have a microphone sometime soon, so we'll toss it back up to the judges' stand.
The field has reached the gate, and the gate is rolling. Moments away from today's fourth race, the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old colt and gelding trot. It's Division 2. No changes to the program. It should be as programmed in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. Here they come, off and trotting. Hopes to V had a head ahead at the beginning, but it didn't last long as Send It Emmett is your leader headed into the south turn. But as soon as Send It Emmett takes that lead, Send It Emmett is on a break and swings to the outside. That allows Hopes to V to get down on the rail and take the lead right now as they pass the 8th pole. They're side by side, Hopes to V and Send It Emmett, but Send It Emmett is back trotting and now gets the lead right back. A length ahead of Hopes to V. Send It Emmett is your leader. Hopes to V in second, Ranging Motion in third, and Fox Valley Victor trails the field by 2 lengths as they go by the quarter pole. 33-1 the time for the quarter, 33-1. After breaking initially, Send It Emmett got back trotting and has now widened that gap over Hopes to V to 5 lengths. In third, it's Ranging Motion, and in fourth is Fox Valley Victor. Travis Seekman and Send It Emmett now has a 4-length lead over Hopes to V. They're in single file as they come down by the grandstand, completing this first half mile here at Newton today. There goes Travis Seekman as he hits the wire for the first time. A half mile to go, Hopes to V in second, Ranging Motion third, and Fox Valley Victor trails the field still. 1:04.4 is the time for the first half mile. It's been unchanged since they've got through that first south turn, and now Ranging Motion breaks and swings outside. Hopes to V looking to challenge as they get on the backstretch, though. Send It Emmett and Travis Seekman will not be able to hold off Hopes to V. Hopes to V puts the hammer down, takes the lead midway down the backstretch. Wyatt Avenatti takes the lead at the quarter pole over on the far side of the track. And now the leader, Hopes to V, putting some distance behind Send It Emmett. Send It Emmett in second now. The 3/4 in 1:36. 3/4 in 1:36. Here comes Hopes to V to the top of the stretch. Been the leader now since the backstretch. Wyatt Avenatti looks to put this race away with Send It Emmett trying to come up from behind, but Send It Emmett is not going to have what it takes in these final yards as Hopes to V comes to the wire with Wyatt Avenatti picking up the win in race 4. Second, Send It Emmett. Perhaps it might have been a battle for third, but that's not going to shake out that way. Fox Valley Victor in third. Ranging Motion after breaking will be fourth. The mile in 2:07 flat. 2:07 flat, your time for the mile.
Oh, Steve, I don't want to look at the points, but I think that's going to swing a little bit, huh? What do you think on that one? Don't you love trotters? Gotta love trotters. That is so much fun. No, everyone else gets 18 besides Steve. Had to go against the grain on that, and it bit him in the butt. Congratulations to Roshan Trigg and Wyatt and Hopes to V out there winning today's fourth race. That was a good race, yeah. These babies are unpredictable. Man, those are JJ's colors. Look, those are sharp. I like them. Yeah, go ahead.
Now approaching the grandstand, the winner of race 4, Hopes de Vie with Wyatt Avenatti in the bike. Hopes de Vie was in second most of that race, but Wyatt pulled out and made a move on the backstretch. Finished the final quarter after taking the lead. Hopes de Vie picks up another win this year. That's a third win this year so far. 7 starts for Hopes de Vie, and now has hit the board 6 times. So a lot of potential here for Hopes de Vie. Owned leased by LeQuentin Shavers of Brandon, Mississippi, and trained by Roshan Trigg. This race sponsored by People's State Bank. We appreciate People's State Bank and what they do to support the fair. Congratulations to Wyatt in the bike, picking up a win today. That mile home in 2:07 flat. This just in, ladies and gentlemen, I'm told we will be dispensing with post parades the rest of the day. The horsemen have requested no post parades because of the heat. So no post parades the rest of the day. We've completed race 4. Race 4 is official. Here come your fractions if you'd like to write them down. The first quarter in 33 1. The half mile in 104 4/5. The 3 quarters in 136 flat. And the mile in 2:07 flat. Order of finish from the top down. Number 1, Send It Emmett, finished second. Number 2, Hopes de Vie was the winner. Number 3, Ranging Motion, was 4th. Number 4, Fox Valley Victor, was 3rd. From the top down, your program would check 2-1-4-3. Race 4 is official. Looking ahead to race 5, there are no changes at this time in race 5. It should be as programmed in your program that you have with you in the grandstand. It is a 3-year-old filly pace, Division 1, sponsored by Wadded Up Transportation and West End Reception and Events. Coming up with race 5 in just a few moments. And remember, no post parades. Let's play Pick a Winner.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Okay, David, again, as we get going here, we're headed into race 5, no post parade, which doesn't break my heart in this heat.
No, we're going to get through these races quicker and get out of here tonight, get everyone home safely, and get the horses and the humans all done with the work as soon as possible.
And when we talk about this, 2 days of racing, most of that means we get to go 15, 20 minutes away and spend the night.
Yes.
A lot of these horsemen got to pack up the horses they have here.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Get in the truck with the trailer.
Yesterday I was talking to Tina Schrock about how many races she's watched in the last 3 days. And I was asking Wyatt today, Wyatt has driven, anyone want to guess in the comments, how far do you think Wyatt Avenatti has driven mile-wise in a vehicle for the last 6 weeks? Take a wild guess, put it in the chats. If you get close, I'll throw it up on the screen because it's just astronomical. He's been from home down to Oak Grove 3 days in a row, then to Springfield where they had 2 races or 2 cards in one day, back to Springfield, up to Cambridge, way up in the state, back down over here to home. He's going to Oak Grove tomorrow at 9 in the morning. That's a 4-hour drive. Back here to race tomorrow night. Then I think he has Hoosier or something, maybe Thursday. I don't. But yeah, just the unreal schedule. So you talk about these horses' schedule and having to drive back home tonight before they get to settle the horses in and go to bed themselves. It's a grueling grind of a life for the horsemen, but it's one that none of them would change for the world, I don't think.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody like JP is going to take a trailer load of horses back up to Springfield.
I was watching JP race in the Kentucky Sire Stakes today. The horse didn't do very good, but he did have a horse in the $40,000 Kentucky Sire Stakes at Oak Grove. So he's not just racing horses here today because he's here today. He has horses all over the Midwest West, wherever they fit, wherever
and
they
have to take them back to the barn tonight, make sure they're bedded down properly and taken care of, and then go get them maybe a couple hours of sleep, and then do it all over.
It's a crazy, crazy life, but the Horsemen wouldn't do it if it wasn't, something we love.
Well, and Lisa and I get talked about this all the time. For fans notice here, Lisa Surratt and myself, Steve, we do BC Hornet Sports, and the broadcast company itself does about over 200 games a year, and we probably do, I'm going to say, about 75% of that.
Yeah.
And they say, how do you do it? We love it.
Yeah.
And that's why horsemen do it. They love it. They love the sport. They're committed to the sport. And I tell you what, as a fan, as you watch this sport, you will love it. You will have a great time. You will get the bug.
It's the bug, and the fans here in Jasper County have it because you can hear them cheering, and that they're watching the horses, and that they know, they're biting with anticipation. It's so much fun. Come on out if you have a fair that's anywhere near you that we're going to be at. Swing on out there. Come to the races. Come say hi to us. Oh, come on. All you guys in the chat aren't even close. Alan's guessing 1,200 miles. Carlene's guessing 1,000 miles. We're not even close. Think more of how far does the average person drive in a year. There's about your number you need to look for there. But
I'm estimating over 200 fans in the stands.
That's kind of what I called it.
And that's in 90-degree weather, folks.
Yes, in 2 days of racing.
Yeah.
I mean, so they might come back tomorrow. The love for horses in this area is just second to none. And it really, so many great names. Denny Gardner's from down around here, not Newton itself, but this area. There's just so many good horsemen that came from here, so many names that people know and recognize and still follow along. Just going through the chats over here. Oh, I was bored this morning, and I got a little creative. I went on to Chat GPT, and I said we might need some time to kill today on the air. So I said, Chat GPT, give me some harness racing jokes, and it spit me out about 20 jokes. Some of them are junk. Some of them are
you mean they're like
palatable
dad jokes or grandpa jokes?
They're bad.
Okay.
But we can go through a couple if you want.
That'd be great, David. My wife will cringe, but
I love it. I'm watching her bobbing her head down there. How about this one? Why did the standardbred bring a ladder to the paddock? Because he wanted to get a leg up on the competition. Brutal, I know.
I'll bring on another.
What do you call a fast trotter with GPS? A navigator.
Lisa's going, Steve tells these kind of jokes all the time.
You can use them in church if you want, don't worry. Ooh.
Feel free to use them, yes, okay.
But that gave me just enough time for Bridget to guess about right here. She guessed 14,000. Why it's driven, he told me today, 13,000 miles. 13,000 miles in the last month and a half. The average American drives between 10 and 15, they say. Often now, a lot of humans less because of COVID and working from home. So he drove more than the average American drives in a year in just over a month, and that's not counting the time his butt's in the race bike or, he's in the jog cart seat warming these horses up. So the time that we spend with our animals all summer long is pretty remarkable.
It is, and how much time and distance you will drive for something that you have a passion for.
And it's crazy. We see these horsemen. This sparrow is coming into the production area. Did Lisa not see it? Lisa, look out. There's a bird right behind you, Lisa. Get out of here.
Came back by me.
We have a bird attacking the production booth. Okay, we're good now. I think we have some time. Should I go for some more jokes or what?
Well, I have something else.
I'm kidding here. Those were pretty bad. I just wanted to look up and see where Scott was at. We'll bring him up to the track announcer, Scott Beal.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, from now on we will not be having post parades. Once the field is out, they'll turn and head toward the gate. But let's learn about the field in Race 5, the Illinois Standardbred Association 3-year-old filly pace. Division 1, sponsored by Watered Up Transportation and the West End Reception and Events, for a purse of $2,663. Number 1, Lookin' Lovely, owned by Barbara Wilfong of Kentland, Indiana, and Brett and Candace Wilfong of Pendleton, Indiana, trained and driven by Matt Avenatti. Number 2 is Miss Tootie, owned by George Pollock of Rushville, trained by Nick Prather. Connor Prather is in the bike. Number 3, Arcades Swift, owned by MM&D Racing of Charleston, trained by Matt McKenzie. Travis Siekman is the driver. Number 4, Annie, owned by Elizabeth Radel of Edgewood, trained by Oscar Johnson Jr., with Archie Buford driving. And number 5, Little Old Me, owned and trained and driven by Clark Fairley of Lerna, Illinois. That's your field. No changes in the program. It should be as programmed in front of you. Here they come for Division 1 of the 3-year-old filly pace. 5 horses to the gate. Moments away from the start. The car accelerates, the wing goes in, they're off and pacing. Very nice start as the field gets out very evenly. It's looking lovely on the rail. Miss Tootie on the outside. Those two battle for the lead early. Annie was on a break, and Archie Druford drops that horse to the back of the field. Meanwhile, up front, though, Miss Tootie has now gotten ahead of Lookin' Lovely and is your leader as they hit the back stretch for the first time. So the leader is Miss Tootie, followed by Lookin' Lovely. Then it's R.K. Swift, Little Old Me, and now Archie Buford has got Annie back up to the field. So they're single file down the back stretch. They hit the quarter pole in 32 and 4. 32 and 4, your time for the first quarter. Miss Tootie's the leader as they swing around the north corner of the racetrack here for the first time in this trip in race 5. Here comes Miss Tootie by the grandstand now. Miss Tootie and Connor Prather. Miss Tootie and Connor Prather is the leader as they hit the wire for the first time after the first lap. Moving up on the outside was Annie. After breaking early, Archie Buford now has that horse up in second. In third along the rail is Lookin' Lovely. The half mile in 107. Fourth on the outside, Little Old Me. Fifth is R.K. Swift. The field bunched up tightly on the rail and on the outside. 4 horses, 2 pairs side by side as they hit the backstretch now with just over a quarter mile to go. Miss Tootie is the leader, followed by Annie. Lookin' Lovely in third, and Little Old Me in fourth, with R.K. Swift in fifth. But they're all bunched very tightly. They're all looking to get ahead of Miss Tootie. Miss Tootie is the leader. They did the 3 quarters in 1:38. 1:38 and 2 was the time for the 3 quarters. Miss Tootie the leader. Now here comes the field at the top of the stretch. It's going to be a battle for the win, though, folks, as they swing out ride. Miss Tootie on the rail still has the lead, but coming up on the outside is Little Old Me. Little Old Me making it a battle. Little Old Me on the outside, Miss Tootie on the inside. Going to be a battle for the win there. Our Annie was in the middle, behind those two by about a head. Going too close to call. We may have to look at the photo. Fourth would have been Lookin' Lovely. Fifth, R.K. Swift. The mile in 2:08 flat.
Well, David, that'll be a photo finish, but I think I called it right. So far this year, I've been right on those. I'm sitting right here at the line, so we'll see how good the old man's eyesight is.
2:08 on that mile. Connor, I'd tell you what, Connor did a great job, and we had Grandma in the chat wishing him good luck. Connor, he's such a mature driver for driving so few starts as he had. It's just he always impresses me with how cool he sits
the photo
and lets the horses come at him and just kind of stays pretty chilly in the seat. And
potential winner was
fended off a tough rush from Clark on the outside there.
It is undecided yet as the officials look at the photo finish.
But we didn't get to handicap that race, and while the judges are reviewing that, we can show our handicaps on the screen there. I had, let's see,
everybody had the 5 horse. Everybody had the 5 horse.
So we all got that.
All 3 of you picked the same again. 5-3-2.
5-3-2.
And I went 5-2-1.
So I got at least 11. You 5-2-1.
Yeah.
So I'm chewing up some points on you again.
A
point maybe or something.
We'll see on this one how they call it. 1 point, 1 point, and 1 point, and 1 point. So guess what? 2 points for everybody, just about. Y'all had the 3. The 3 ended up last. I can guarantee you that. The 3 is not going to be in that top 3.
Fair enough.
The officials have judged the winner's circle photo and have determined that number 5, Little Old Me, is the winner.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Very close, but congratulations, Clark Fairley. Coming ahead there right at the end to get a nose under the wire ahead of Miss Tootie. Little Old Me with a 2nd win so far this year. This is the 4th start, 2 wins and 2 seconds. That's pretty good for Little Old Me.
5-2-4.
Owned, trained, and driven by Clark Fairley right there in front of the grandstand as representatives present the watered up transportation and West End reception and events blanket. Congratulations to Clark Fairley. Home in the mile in race 5 in 2:08 flat. Race 5 is official, I am told by the judge. Congratulations, Clark. Here come your, if you'd like to write them down, if you'd like to write down the times. The first quarter in 32 and 4, the half mile in 107 flat, the 3 quarters in 138 and 2, and the mile in 208 flat. Checking the order of finish from the top down, number 1, Lookin' Lovely, was 4. Miss Tootie was the runner-up. Number 3, Arcade Swift, finished 5. Number 4, Annie, finished 3rd. And number 5, Little Old Me, was your winner. From the top down, 4-2-5-3-1. Race 5 is official. Coming up, race 6, a couple of changes. Number 2, Jedette, is scratched. And number 3, PD's Rum Runner, has driver Harold Finn Jr., contrary to the program. That's all the changes for race 6. Let's go to Cheryl. She's got some stuff to talk to you folks about.
I've got some stuff to talk to you about with that change, me being wrong as far as what I saw the finish at. But you all got 11 points, and Steve pocketed 15 points on that for picking 1, 2.
Me or H? Finn?
You and Lisa and Finn.
Oh, all of us got. Okay, good.
Points.
See, well, I can still pick horse racing.
Yeah, and it looks like this. Let's see. That's today. David, 45 points today.
Hey, that's all right.
Lisa and Finn, 44 points.
Hey, I'm still winning.
Steve at 43. I needed that bad. You all got the 18 points in the last race. I needed that.
You get one big race and it can make you. It really chews up a lot of ground.
All right, with that, we'll take a station break. We'll be right back.
Do you like to watch horse racing?
Yeah.
Do you not want to pay money for a stupid horse racing channel?
Yeah.
Are you sadly allergic to horses and you can't see them?
Yeah.
Well, introducing Harness Tube, established 2023.
Hey, I need to try this out.
You can watch it at your son's ball game.
Let's go, son.
You can watch it while eating. Last but not least, you can watch it while you're sleeping.
Yay, my horse won. Now, everybody, make sure you like and subscribe to Harness Tube and keep the notifications on for more Harness Tube streams or future videos or future posts. Anything that I care for. Anything at all. Even if it's just like a 1-second video of a horse doing a backflip. I don't know. But you get the point. So, I hope this video is very informational. And thank you for watching. Peace out.
A horse doing a flip.
I told him he should have put a video of like a little clip art horse doing a backflip right there because it's so funny. But I thank you, Harrison, for making that video for us. We love your support of promoting Harness Tube for me.
And you can advertise with us. You can do a billboard like you're seeing on the screen with Chris Putmeyer, the Remax Realtor up in Galesburg, or you can get a full-blown commercial like many others that we have out there. So we're able to do that for you.
I tell you what, listen to this. If you want, if you have a commercial, if you want one of my sons to make you one, I'll try to ask them. We'll come up with something crazy, something goofy, but yeah, we can make something and give it to you so you have that file yourself to run anywhere you want to advertise your business.
Or you can do type ad that the other three have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whichever you've got some others up your sleeve, I guess.
Well, yeah, I worked on a couple that we haven't got closed yet, but we are making them. We can make them. We can get you, with you have an idea, if you have just kind of some talking points, some pictures, whatever you got, we can work with.
All right, as we get ready here for race 6, and we're not quite halfway there, David. As we get ready for race 6, let's handicap this while we got a chance.
Okay, looking at race 6, I went 4-1-3 and H went 4-1-3. So the horsemen in this one went the same direction. Fox Valley Lava on top for Wyatt and Kev. Frontier Fantasy for Mike and JP second, and PD's Rum Runner finishing third. With the scratch, we got to go that way, it looks like, doesn't it? Where are you guys at?
Well, we did a 4-2-1. Both of us went the same way, so we'll move your 3 up on both of you guys, and the 1 will be in that third spot. You collect 1 point no matter what, the way we've been doing it with
for you and Lisa, right?
Let's see.
Because we both put 4-1-3.
4-1-3. Oh, that's right, for me and Lisa.
Yeah, for you and Lisa.
Yep, the 1 will move up and the 2 will move down, so we get 1 point for that because we didn't know when we picked these, 2 days ago? 3 days ago?
Drivers change, it happens. Scratches change, it happens. I mean, some of these horses raced 2 days ago at Springfield.
My mama told me not to scratch. Poison ivy, whatever.
Just spreads. All you can do is spread it.
It makes things worse.
It does. It's true. But you can't tell kids anything. They're going to do what they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks, we finally got the sun off of our backs back here. Got a nice little breeze from the south. It is not miserable. In fact, I think I'm a little cooler than I was last night. I don't know about Lisa down there, whether she feels a little cooler or not. Yeah, she does. She's got a thumbs up down there.
Yeah, we have at least a steady breeze. Last night in that judges stand, you had to kind of catch it when it came through the windows, and so it was breezy at times and still at times, and we're a nice little steady breeze up here. It's okay. That sun coming off our back helps a lot. But
now, David, we got other races. We can talk about those coming up now that we've done that, and I'll turn Scott up so when he wants to talk.
I'll watch him too, yeah.
I don't know if you took the time to go. Did you come through Pana today?
Yes, I came through Pana.
Did you go by the fairgrounds?
No, I didn't go by the fairgrounds.
We went out and scoped out the fairgrounds.
What'd you think?
Other than it being hot, it could be kind of like a Carlinville thing.
Yeah,
they've got
probably
a stage right out in front of their bleachers there.
Now, did you see the beer tent going into the second turn?
Yeah, that building in the back with all the open. That's where a lot of people hang out back there.
It was packed. I was there. I was to observe last year.
Tell you what, David, you can take care of the production and be up on the other side. And I'm going to go back and do a remote from
to the beer tent. If we did remote broadcast, we need to figure that out because that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? Interviewing the patrons back there.
I don't know how much work we would get done.
Well, we'd have a good time anyway.
But that's coming up the end of the season on Labor Day weekend. We'll be there Saturday and Sunday. We won't be there Monday. We'll invite you to do something different. As going on all that weekend, there's 2 or 3 horse auctions that weekend.
There's 2 horse sales.
Ladies
One of
and
them,
gentlemen, race 6 starters are out.
All right, toss it to Scott Beal.
The Walker sale is that weekend?
Yeah, the Walker sale, I think I'd have to look at the date. I think it's Saturday.
Number 2 Jedet is a scratch. There will be 3 horses to the gate tonight in race 6. The 3-year-old filly pace, it's Division 2, sponsored by Beck's Hybrids for a purse of $2,663. Number 1 is Frontier Fantasy, owned by Linda Allhands of Monticello, trained by Jamaica Patton, and Mike Cox is driving. 2, Jetette, is a scratch. 3, PD's Rum Runner, owned by Harold Finn Jr. of Greenup, Phil Dooley of Hidalgo. Harold Finn Jr. trains and drives. And number 4, Fox Valley Lava, owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur, Lester Detweiler of Sullivan, Alan Miller of Arthur, trained by Kevin Miller, and Wyatt Avenatti is in the bikes. Those are your 3 starters. Headed to the gate now in race 6, and the gate is on the north end of the track, and we'll be underway with race 6 here, almost halfway through today's card. 13 races on today's card. Be sure and come back tomorrow, folks. We've got another night of racing. It'll be a good time here. If you had a good time today, come back tomorrow. I bet it will be even more fun. Meteorologists here in the judges' stand tell me it's expected to be cooler tomorrow, so we will see if they are right. Here comes the field, 3 starters. The gate's away, the gate's in, they're off and pacing. Fox Valley Lava out to the early lead for Wyatt Avenatti as he drops on the rail, and Frontier Fantasy folds into second. PD's Rum Runner is in third. So there they go, just in that order. Fox Valley Lava, Frontier Fantasy, and PD's Rum Runner, each with about 2 lengths in between them. They hit the backstretch for the first time, and Wyatt Avenatti has Fox Valley Lava going down the backstretch. But look out, Frontier Fantasy is picking up a little bit of speed, closes that gap and gets up on Fox Valley Lava. Right there with that horse's neck right behind Wyatt Avenatti's head. Frontier Fantasy tried to make a move there, couldn't get it done, and now folds back in behind the leader, Fox Valley Lava. 32-2. 32-2 the time for the first quarter, 32-2. So it's Wyatt Avenatti with Fox Valley Lava as they hit the top of the stretch for the first time, with Frontier Fantasy right behind, followed by PD's Rum Runner. Those 2 single file now down the straightaway in front of the grandstand, completing the first half mile in today's 6th race. There they go under the wire for the first time. It's Fox Valley Lava, Frontier Fantasy right there behind Wyatt Avenatti, and a length and a half back to PD's Rum Runner in third. Time for the half mile is 1:06. 1:06 flat time for the first half mile. It's been unchanged now for over a lap. Fox Valley the leader. Fox Valley Lava still the leader. Frontier Fantasy in second, and then 2 lengths back to PD's Rum Runner in third. So as the race gets down to the final quarter mile here, we're going to see if Frontier Fantasy and Mike Cox is going to make a move. But it's still been Fox Valley Lava the whole way since the beginning. Fox Valley Lava still the lead now. Frontier Fantasy, will they make a move? Will they not? Mike Cox hasn't decided yet. Still content to stay right behind Fox Valley Lava. Those top 2 separated by 4 lengths over the third place. 3 quarters in 1:37-1. 1:37-1. Now things pick up speed here, but no one's going to catch Fox Valley Lava as Wyatt Avenatti picks up another win. Frontier Fantasy in second. Then in third, PD's Rum Runner. PD's Rum Runner. The mile in 2:05-3 for Fox Valley Lava.
All right, David, as we get ready for the presentation.
I didn't catch that time, did you?
The final time there.
Okay, yeah, well, no, we'll just wait for the winner's circle presentation then. But I don't know about you, but I think I nailed that trifecta. Where are you at?
Let's see. Let me see. It's 4-1-3 for that final.
So I'll take my 18, and because you got the scratch, you bumped up, and you guys are going to miss 2 points, so 16, right? Something like that.
So you got 18.
Quick math.
Mr. Finn got 18. And 4-1-3, and we picked 4-2-1. So we're going to get 10.
Lisa's getting a good shot over there of the Detweiler family who owns that horse with the Millers of Arthur. Lester came up and talked to us, and they were quite excited to win that race out there, so we congratulate them. And
16
it's fun to watch the kids out of the corner of our eye, and Lisa's getting them on the camera every once in a while. So
headed back now in front of the grandstand, the winner of race 6, Fox Valley Lava, owned by Kevin Miller of Arthur, Alan Miller of Arthur, Lester Detweiler of Sullivan, Kevin Miller, the trainer. Wyatt Avenatti picks up another. That's 2 wins for Wyatt tonight in 6 races. This race sponsored by Beck's Hybrids. Fair Royalty out there presenting the blanket to Fox Valley Lava. That's a 5th start this year for Fox Valley Lava, a 2nd win. So in 5 starts has hit the board 4 times. Wyatt completes that mile with Fox Valley Lava in 2:05 and 3. Congratulations, Ed Avenatti, the Millers, and the Detweilers. Race 6 is official. Here come your fractions. 32 and 2, the time for the quarter mile. 106 flat, the time for the half. The 3/4 in 1 and 1, 137 and 1. And the mile in 2:05 and 3/5. From the top down, the order of finish, number 1, Frontier Fantasy, was the runner-up. 2, Jedette was a scratch. 3, PD's Rum Runner was 3rd. And 4, Fox Valley Lava, the winner. From the top down, 2 scratch, 3 1. Coming up, race 7, the 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Pace Division 2, sponsored by the Casey State Bank. Driver change number 2, Bold Victor, now driven by Connor Prather. That's all the changes we've got for race 7, and I bet Cheryl wants to play Pick a Winner.
All right, David, let's talk about that. 18 points for you and Mr. Finn, and 16 for Lisa and I on that race.
I'll slowly start getting my space now and drawing away.
Let's see where it looks.
That, but
63 points for you for the day.
All right.
62 for Mr. Finn. 60 for Lisa. I'm sitting in 4th place with 59.
Came out of the gate so hot. What happened, Steve?
Well, let's
stumbled at the quarter pole.
Let's look on top for the year. 8:12 for me. 8:05 for David. So
right.
he's still 5 down or 7 down. And Lisa's creeping up there too with 7:36.
Lane Motors, Chrysler Dodge Jeep, the People's State Bank of Newton, Butling Ag Solutions.
Okay.
Oh, he's down, isn't he?
Yep, he's down.
You
so
know, I'll just say this whole harness tube idea started out. I'm a huge fan of watching the Little Brown Jug. For those of you familiar, Little Brown Jug is the Delaware County Fair in Delaware, Ohio. They have a week of harness racing, some of the best county fair racing in the country, and they broadcast all day long, all week long. It's amazing. And back in the day, this was before they had YouTube and stuff, so they were asking for email. They have a scroller on the bottom of the screen, email this address, your questions and shout-outs and comments and stuff. And I got to be familiar with some of the announcers and handicappers on the Jug card, and they were fortunate enough to read some of my shout-outs a couple times. I had Dad next to me one time. He was kind of sick, and I got a big Skeeter Machine shout-out on the Jug Week broadcast, and Dad thought it was pretty cool. So that kind of lit a bulb in my mind that people like seeing themselves. People like kind of celebrating their horses and their accomplishments. So this harness tube idea of bringing everyone together and showcasing everyone, and that's kind of why I like doing the super chat thing. We can bring comments and stories and picks and ideas and all those things to the screen where everyone can see them and share in that together.
Absolutely, and what a great sport, what a great thing. And I tell you what, folks, you will not find a sport like this one that they will love for you to walk through the barn.
Yeah.
They love for fans of the sport and ask questions. Here's my novice question for the night, David.
Absolutely.
When we talk about this being an unnatural gait for these horses, what is the natural gait for these horses?
Well,
when
trotting's
they are
pretty
born?
natural. Horses, depending on how fast they're going, will have different speeds and different gaits. Trotting is something that's pretty common among all horses. They can do that pretty easily. But getting them to pace is the problem. Pacing is a faster gait, but it's less natural. Getting both the right legs to move at the same time, it takes the animal off the ground for a period of time. And as a young animal, they're not comfortable kind of putting themselves airborne. So getting those feet underneath them and kind of keeping that balance a little easier on a trot. But as they learn that pace and rocking that body back and forth, they can propel so much further when they're pushing both those legs off the same side and covering ground with a step as opposed to just the length of their body with the step. So the pace is a little more unnatural. You see the hobbles to correct them, but they can go a lot faster typically.
So if we're putting this into people who have watched track, if you remember, what is it, Tim Waddle that used to do, it was the walk run where you have to keep
1 foot on the ground.
1 foot on the ground at all times.
Power walking.
So that is your trot.
Yeah, and that there's some equestrians might know the difference between the all the small gait differences that
we lost power for a second.
Want me to go look at that real quick?
I think we're okay.
Well, I want to make sure it's not loose or kicked.
Okay.
I'm gonna go look at that.
Okay, we're back.
And we'll see what happens.
Yep. Wow. Okay. It looks like we're still live out there. We're glad that we're still live. If you can send David a chat and say, yes, you're still live out there, that would be great as we kind of look for things. And he's going down to check the power at this moment to see what's going on with that. And we'll get our monitors and everything back up. Some of the stuff just automatically shuts off when that happens. Huh? We are on, my wife says. Okay, good deal. As we get ready to go here and get everything back up and working the way it was before we got started here. David, again, just checking things out to make sure we're right. But, yeah, we lost power for just a flash there. And so thankful for all you viewers out there that are watching and being a part of our night here. Wyatt getting his second win tonight. That's good. And so, David, have a conversation down there. I can talk about the picks a little bit as we get ready. On this, it looks like everybody picked the 1 horse. Lisa and I picked the 5 horse, Valley Sage, Darla Martin Lohman, the driver of that horse. And then I picked the 3 horse to finish in third, Matt Avenatti driving Matt Avenatti trained horse. And Lisa picked the 2 horse, Bold Victor, driven by Connor Prather, Jill Brown horse, to finish third. David and Harold Finn both went with the 1 horse just like we did, but went 1-4-3. So they went, he's a Dark Shark, RK's Captain, followed by Joining Forces. And so that's how we handicapped out for that race. And I'll give it back over the track announcer.
Victor, owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, and Jill Brown of Charleston. Jill Brown is the trainer. Connor Prather, contrary to the program, is driving. 3, Joining Forces, owned by Barbara Wilfong of Kentland, Indiana, and Brett Wilfong of Pendleton, Indiana. Trained and driven by Matt Avenatti. 4, RK's Captain, owned by MM&D Racing of Charleston, trained by Stan Swisher, with Freddie Patton Jr. in the bike. And 5, Valley Sage, owned by Janet Dawn Asaro of Hazelwood, Missouri, trained and driven by Darla Martin Lohman. Those are the 5 starters in race 7. A 3-year-old Colton gelding pace. It's Division 1. Casey State Bank is the sponsor. The gate is rolling. The field is at the north apex of the track. Here they come toward the grandstand for the first time as the infield lights begin to take effect now as the sun sets here in Newton, Illinois at the lovely Jasper County Fair. The starting gate accelerates past the grandstand. The wing folds in. They are off and pacing. Very even start as they get down towards the south end of the track. Out to the early lead after things shake out, it's going to be RK's Captain. RK's Captain takes the lead midway through the south turn, followed by Bold Victor, and then He's a Dark Shark. In fourth is Joining Forces, and bringing up the rear is Valley Sage. Meanwhile, up front, it's still RK's Captain, followed by Bold Victor and He's a Dark Shark. Those three separated from fourth and Joining Forces by about 5 lengths, and still in fifth is Valley Sage. Up front, though, you've still got RK's Captain, Bold Victor up front there. 29-4 is your time for the first quarter. 29-4 is your time for the first quarter. And here comes Bold Victor now in the lead. It's Bold Victor as they get ready to come by the grandstand for the first time. We got 2 on the outside looking to make moves, but RK's Captain is the leader. RK's Captain is the leader, followed by He's a Dark Shark with Bold Victor in third. It's Valley Sage in fourth and Joining Forces in fifth. 101-4, your time for the first half mile, 101-4. RK's Captain is the leader. He's a Dark Shark is in second. Bold Victor is in third. Valley Sage is in fourth, and Joining Forces now trails the field. Up front, it is RK's Captain on the inside. He's a Dark Shark on the outside, and Bold Victor outside of that. Those three all side by side now, but the top 2 begin to separate themselves. RK's Captain on the inside. He's a Dark Shark on the outside. The 3 quarters in 132-2. 132-2. RK's Captain on the rail. Bold Victor, nope, He's a Dark Shark. He's a Dark Shark on the outside, but RK's Captain on the inside. Here they go. It's down to the wire, folks. It's going to be very close. RK's Captain on the inside. He's a Dark Shark outside, but RK's Captain looked to get the win by a nose. The mile in 2:03-2. 2:03-2. We'll be back for the full order of finish in just a moment. It was a close call at the wire. The officials want to look at the photo before they actually declare a winner here. Close enough that they want to double check, take a look at the photo.
Steve, I'll bring myself up while you're working on that and the judges are reviewing the photo because I have a shout out I've been sitting on waiting, and I hope that they're listening now. We've got a special birthday to celebrate today. Shaterica Hayes, which is Fat Man Jaquavian's sister, turns 29 today. She's watching down in Texas. We appreciate her following along, cheering along her baby brother, the Fat Man. I should say the brothers Fat Man and JJ. So we appreciate you watching. Thank you for following along, and good luck to the brothers out there. The time real quick, 2:05-3. I tell you what.
After double checking the photos, the winner of the race 7 is number 4, RK's Captain. Second was He's a Dark Shark. Third was Bold Victor. Fourth was Valley Sage. And fifth was Joining Forces. Now approaching the grandstand, here's your winner from race 7, RK's Captain, owned by the MM&D Racing of Charleston, trained by Stan Swisher. That's Freddie Patton Jr. in the bike, ready to accept the KZ State Bank blanket from the royalty here at the Jasper County Fair. RK's Captain, that's a first start this year tonight, picks up a win in the first start for this Colton Gelding pace. Good way to start off the 2025 season for RK's Captain and Freddie Patton Jr. in the mile in 2:03 and 2. Congratulations to the connections of RK's Captain. We are official. If you would like the fractions, ladies and gentlemen, here they come. The quarter in 29 and 4. The half in 101 and 4. The 3/4 in 132 and 2. And the mile in 2:03 and 2. Order of finish from the top down. Number 1, He's a Dark Shark, was the runner-up. 2, Bold Victor was third. 3, Joining Forces was fifth. 4, RK's Captain was the winner. And 5, Valley Sage finished 4. So from the top down, it is 2, 3, 5, 1, 4. Race 7 is official. Looking ahead to race 8, we have no changes in race 8. It's Division 2 of the 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Pace, sponsored by the Newton American Legion Post number 20. Coming up in a little bit. But Cheryl, let's play Pick a Winner.
All right, David,
Steve,
we didn't do very well on the picks. None of us got, we all got 2 points.
Yeah, that's a slow day, huh?
Yeah.
It's a slow day.
Everybody
slow
2, even though we picked differently. Everybody with 2.
Gotta love it.
How many points you get? 2.
2. Saw some exciting news in the chat. Skeeter Machine is back in training per Missy Prather in our chat right now. It'll be exciting to see the big mare back racing again. We wish her the best of luck. Also, I see Mikey Rogers' better half is in the chat. She said she's going to teach him how to chat so that he can play along with us a little bit. But said they're watching home from their air conditioning tonight, which I think is a little cheap. If you're a horseman, you should be out here room with us, right?
That's right.
But thank you for following along back at home. Sorry, I cut you off there.
That's all right. With that, we'll take a quick station break.
Make plans now to attend the 27th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale, which takes place on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Once again this year, the catalog will offer not only a strong lineup of Illinois conceived and foaled yearlings, but also an excellent supporting cast of colts and fillies eligible to other state-bred programs in the Midwest and on the Eastern Seaboard. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
Or something.
All right, here we go tonight.
Cool.
David talking, we'd love to make our broadcast better. Todd, we've always talked about electronic saddle pads, but David come up with a better idea. Each driver's got a chip. And
yeah, I want to do the
track.
saddle pad number. For those of you who watch Hoosier, where it shows the number of the horse actually on the little small track tee, so you can see the distance between horses and how fast they're closing and all that kind of stuff. Well, that takes a lot of technology and money we don't have. But I was thinking maybe if we could get those soccer jerseys that track the soccer stars across like the field and put one on every driver, we could track the individual driver's progress through the mile and then equate that to whatever horse they're on. So I'm going to do
But
some
if
digging.
anybody would like to make the donation for the saddle pads,
if you have some equipment you want to donate to us, we can do this. Yeah, we'll take
or
it.
Money,
Money. We'll buy what we need. Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be more than happy to do that if you've got a slush fund someplace that you would like to let us spend.
Yeah, if you like horse racing that much and you have extra money, we will be more than happy to put it to good use for you.
Yeah. I just thought I'd point that out, David, just as a point there, Yeah, ask.
All those good ideas, I'm thinking how can we do them a little bit cheaper than the pros, you know what I mean? Because it takes so much resources to do some of that stuff. Like the production, I was just showing Steve off air there that we had a comment on a Facebook post. One of our fans from Iowa was appreciating how we put the drivers and trainers and all the information up on the screen, for the post parade and stuff. And I was telling Steve that's important to me. I want to make sure that the horsemen can see themselves, their names, they can show that they're recognized, for all their accomplishments. And it takes a lot of work, as Steve was saying, on our part, pre-work, to do all the typing and file management and all that stuff. But I think in the end it gives us a nice product.
Lisa's giving you a shot of the barn over there. I can't tell. A couple of people back there.
I'm looking to see who's sitting
out
in the barn there.
Yeah, Lisa, can you give us a little closer picture back there? That's as close as you can get.
She zoomed through.
All right. They're way out there, but boy, they're carrying on a conversation or a very quiet poker game.
Pan over to that smaller barn coming. Yeah, there's about 10 people there. I think that must be Harold Finn and Alan Finn's barn, I believe. Looking at the group. There we go. Look at that photo.
Go.
This, folks, right there. When I say my childhood is horse racing, it is sitting around a barn just like that with my family, watching the horses come in and out, go to the track to warm up and race. Those memories these kids will have. They don't know it yet, but those are some of the best memories of their life right now.
Absolutely. And I can remember one shot that I really liked. Lisa got Freddie Patton Sr.
Yes, Decatur.
At Decatur under the shade tree watching the races.
And how important has that name been for Illinois racing? Such a great shot.
Let's handicap this real quick. Everybody.
Well, Lisa and I went 3-1-2, and you went similar 3-2-1, but this one, H is the curveball. He went 1-3-2, so I think we all had the same horses, just boxing them around. It's tough to overlook Jim's Big Boy, those tough miles, and then Fox Valley Boxer from the Riddoff barn. And Tonto Returns, Avenetti's, and the County Fairs. Those three are just ultra tough today.
Yeah, Harold went 1-3-2.
Race number 8, the Illinois Standard Red Association.
He's doing pretty good for a guy with some bummed-up ribs.
Division 2, Newton America Legion Post 20 is your sponsor for a purse of $2,674.
I don't know why it's not showing up on the screen that well, but hey.
We do have a late driver's change. Driving the 3 now, Jim's Big Boy is Archie Buford.
Archie's on the 3.
But let's recap the starters. Number 1, Fox Valley Boxer.
Archie is on Jim's
Owned by
Big
Mark
Boy.
Winship of Canton, Illinois.
And that was Archie
Buford, B-U-F-O-R-D.
Yep.
Rob Riddoff, the trainer. Travis Siekman in the bike. 2, Tonto Returns, owned by David Avenatti of Chrisman and Kevin Niefeld of Piatone. David Avenatti is the trainer. Wyatt Avenatti drives. 3 is Jim's Big Boy, owned by Dolores Phillips of Athens. Mrs. Jerica Kelly of Canton, Mississippi, trained by Jamaica Patton. And driver change, make it Archie Buford. Number 4, it's Major Carl Bombay, owned and trained by Jacob Radel of Edgewood, with Jaquavian Carter in the bike. And number 5, Captain Coondog, owned and trained by Oscar Johnson Jr. of Crystal Springs, Mississippi, with Freddie Patton Jr. driving. Those 5 starters to the gate, and the gate is at the top of the stretch for race 8. Division 2 of the 3-year-old Colt and Gelding Pace, sponsored by the Newton American Legion. Post number 20, the gate approaches the wire. We're about ready to get underway, and we are underway. Off and pacing. Quickly out front, Fox Valley Boxer on the rail. Right beside is Tonto Returns. Fox Valley Boxer now extends into the lead solely by themselves, as Fox Valley Boxer takes the field towards the back stretch. Tonto Returns is in second. Captain Coondog is in third, Jim's Big Boy fourth, and it's Major Carl Bombay in fifth. Up front, though, it's still 1-2, Fox Valley Boxer and Tonto Returns. Captain Coondog in third, moving up on the outside is Jim's Big Boy. Jim's Big Boy looking to make a big move from fourth Passed third, second, now trying to get first. The first quarter mile was in 32 flat. 32 flat the time for the quarter. Fox Valley Boxer, the leader on the inside. Jim's Big Boy made a big move on the backstretch, came up from fourth and is now battling for first, in second by about a neck as they get ready to come by the grandstand for the first time. The leader on the inside is Fox Valley Boxer, but pulling ahead as they go by the grandstand by a head is Jim's Big Boy. Jim's Big Boy led briefly there. They'll still side by side, Fox Valley Boxer and Jim's Big Boy. 1:04 the time for the half mile. Back side by side behind the two leaders are Tonto Returns on the inside and Captain Coondog on the outside. Meanwhile, it's Major Carl Bombay all alone back in fifth. So two pair up front. Leading down the backstretch is one Fox Valley Boxer and Jim's Big Boy on the outside. Down on the rail, Tonto Returns in third, and fourth on the outside, Captain Coondog. They head to the north turn for the final time. Leading is Fox Valley Boxer with Jim's Big Boy outside of that. 1:32, 1:34 and 2 the time for the three quarters. 1:34 and 2. Here come the field, the top of the stretch, ladies and gentlemen. They're making now ready for the big finish, and that's still going to be Fox Valley Boxer. Fox Valley Boxer going to get away here. Fox Valley Boxer with a battle for second, very, very close for second, between Tonto Returns and Jim's Big Boy. Across fourth would be Captain Coondog, and in fifth is its Major Carl Bombay. The mile was 2:03 and 3.
Steve, I'll bring myself up. That's another good mile out there. We didn't quite get that one right, but still a fun race. No, regardless, I think, was Archie out there 3/4 of a mile or the whole mile anyway? He's never saw the rail, I didn't think so. Tough driving out there, but congratulations to the one, Travis Siegman, showing why he's a top pari-mutuel Chicago driver. Just kind of controlling that race top to bottom, beginning to end by himself.
Well, we'll see how this finishes out. I ended up with 1, 2, 3.
You got them all right?
No, but Harold picked in that race. He picked 1, 3, 2. He's got 12 points sitting out there because he picked the winner. And the rest of us,
I knew he'd be tough.
The rest of us,
officials are checking out the photo. It was a close battle for second.
And the rest of us are just going to collect 3 points.
Ooh, that's slow.
We'll wait and see what the final is here.
I'm going to be lazy and ask the chat. That's got to be a fin with this cutoffs in the winner circle and the blue hat, right? Someone help me out. I don't know which fin that is, but that has to be a fin, I'm pretty sure. Give me a name, somebody. Help me out here. There's so many of them down here. I can't keep them straight. As Alan Finn goes by in the background. We're in Finn country. Yeah. I can't. I'm trying to. Which one is that? Oh, well, I'll figure it out. The chat will help me out at some point. Thank you. Oh, look. Winner circle coming across the infield now. We got Doc Johnson and Brady Schrock coming over to celebrate with Travis on behalf of trainer Rob Ridoff. Merle Finn. Thank you, Jennifer. Ah, that's Merle Finn out there. I knew that face. Retired sheriff here in Jasper County. I just got the chat. See, you ask the chat, and the chat gives you information. That's why I love it.
It's almost better than Google.
It is.
Somebody
it's quicker,
probably
it's fast.
For us.
It's handy, isn't it?
Lisa and I are riding all the hours in this car. We come up with questions, and she spends half of her time over in the car saying, how far is it from this place to this place, or what is this answer? And so we have lots of conversations.
Waving at Travis and Brady down there. But, yeah, love the chat for helping us out when we have a question on that. And congratulations to Rob and Doc and Brady and Travis and the whole Ridoff and Seekman Fox Valley
to the winner of
Boxer
race 8, Fox Valley
crew.
Boxer. The race sponsored by the Newton American Legion, post number 20. Fox Valley Boxer, owned by Final Turn, New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Mark Winship of Canton. Rob Ridoff trains. Travis Seekman in the bike. Got the mile in 2:03 and 3. 3 wins in 6 starts this year for Fox Valley Boxer. Officials were checking out the battle for second there. Race 8 will be official. I'll give you the rundown here in a moment, but first I'll give you the fractions. The first quarter in 32 flat. The half mile in 104 flat. The 3 quarters in 134 and 2. And the mile in 2:03 and 3. Order of finish from the top down. Number 1, Fox Valley Boxer, was your winner. There was a battle for second, and after consultation, the officials got their heads together, looked at the photo, and decided it was a dead heat. Number 2, Tonto Returns, will place 2 dead heat. Number 3, Jim's Big Boy, also 2 dead heat. 4, It's Major Carl Bombay, finished 5. And 5, Captain Coondog, finished 4. So from the top down, your program would check 1, 2 dead heat, 2 dead heat, 5, 4. Race 8 is official. Coming up, race 9, there is 2 drivers' changes in race 9. The 4, Dooleyville Lou, now going to be driven by Harold Finn Jr. The 5, Lou's Miracle, will now be driven by Wyatt Avenatti. Those are the only changes for race 9. Cheryl would like to play Pick a Winner.
Steve, I'll bring us back up and turn Scott down and just do a quick little recap since that was just Jaquavian's first, I think, drive in that last race. I'll retouch his shout out for his sister. He wanted me to wish her a happy 29th birthday, so we're wishing a happy birthday to Shatirika Hayes down there in Texas watching Harness Tube. We appreciate you following along, cheering on your brother, and
So you found it on the track.
following along these harness races.
They found a phone on the track.
That's Doc Johnson's phone, I'm pretty sure.
Came up for the winner's circle photo, and you lost your phone. Cheryl in the grandstand.
I keep forgetting he's down and I'm up, so I'll talk over him, but
We found the phone in the grandstand. Thank you, Cheryl. Now you can play Pick a Winner.
what role is he at? I'll let you do it. Cool.
Okay.
All right, so we're looking ahead now. We're at race 9 already, guys. We're getting through this card faster and faster, it seems like. Going through it nice and fast. But did the points shake up at all over there, Steve? What are we looking like?
Hang on.
Okay.
I'm still working on that. I had a little computer glitch.
Nope. I'm going to take these numbers down off the screen. And something else. Oh, here's what I was going to do. We just talked about, I asked for the chat who that was, and that was Merle Finn. And that reminded me we need to go ahead and give some wishes of some health wishes to Merle Finn Jr. He's fighting cancer. He's a young horseman about my age, I think maybe 35, 37, maybe somewhere around there. I saw he's been battling it for a couple months now. I did see he was up and walking again, and really proud of those first steps. That they were really tough for him to take, but we wish him, the best in fighting this disease and quickly return, come out to this barn, because we all know that getting to the barn makes everything just that much better. Just a little bit better when you can come sit by the horses and smell that smell and get that in your blood. So we want to wish him well. And I think Steve is doing some.
Well, just to let you know,
the DH.
The DH, no point changes. Everybody only got 2 points on that. They didn't change a thing.
I thought those, and it doesn't matter. I thought the results, I had a drop down for a DH in there. Maybe I didn't put that in there, but.
Okay.
No, it's cool. As long as you got it typed in there, that's all that matters. I was wondering, I thought that's what you were struggling with at first, but you got it figured out. So 2 points each. Is that what you said?
Yep, 2 points each.
That's not very much. We'll just turn the page then.
Or is it 2 or 3? Hang on, I got it right here in the
dead heat is messing with us. But
3, except for Harold got 12.
Oh, okay, he's gonna kick our butts now.
Yeah.
He's gonna make a big jump there.
Yeah, Harold did really well on that.
Having a good night handicapping over there.
Actually, he didn't get 12 points because it was a dead heat with those. How are we going to do that? Normally it'd be 18 points. I think we got to give him the full 18 for having all 3
I was going to
pretty much
say.
in order. I mean, he picked the 1, 3, 2.
Because what you would do in a horse race is you would combine the second and third money and split it amongst the two. So in doing so, you would combine fifth and the 5 and 3 points. You'd get 8. You divide by 2. You'd be at 18. So that works. That's the best way to do it.
Yep, Harold wins that one. He's got 82 points. I mean, he is.
I'm regretting letting him pick tonight. I tell you what.
And he's picking tomorrow night.
I know. And he's driving. He's supposed to be over there milking an injury, and he's having a big night tonight. So congratulations to him. Having a good night picking and in managing it back in his home fair in the bike.
I'm going to do a commercial here while we got a moment. David.
Go right ahead.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
Yeah, David, Harold Finn doing a great job picking tonight, and we've got him back tomorrow night. He may catch up that 4th spot, make up all the points because Jackie hasn't picked all the races.
Nope. I'm laughing at myself over here because we talk about all the Finns down here in Finn country, and I was just corrected that JD's in now in my chat saying that's Randy Joe Finn down there in the winter circle. So there's a lot of Finns. There's a big clan of Finns down here in this area, and they're all involved in the horse racing business, and it's hard to keep them straight sometimes. There was down in Cahokia Downs in Kentucky, I think this sounds right, there was an entire Finn race in the 70s or 80s where they had 10 horses, all driven by members of the Finn family from Southeast Illinois. It was so cool to see that, and to see the generations move on now and the next generation pick it up. It's pretty cool to see that Finn family carry the tradition on.
You might say there was more Finns than a school of sharks.
That was as bad as Scott's The Feeding Frenzy comment at Cardinal was good. So
the Feeding Frenzy with the
I loved it.
Horses.
Yeah, I loved it. But that Finn joke just kind of was right there. You had to do it, didn't you?
I did.
I didn't see it coming. You
like
caught
flatter.
me. You caught me off guard, but it was good. I'll give it to you.
9
All right.
starters are out.
Hey, I have my good days. Lisa will tell you that. Some days I'm more alert than others.
It's the preacher in you, right?
Yeah.
You get to have those quips, those one-off jokes. I think I hear a call to post. I'll toss it back to Scott Beal.
Race 9 is a top line, 3-year-old and up trot, Division 1, sponsored by the First National Bank of Olney. Number 1, Mariah Lou, owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, trained and driven by Jill Brown. Number 2, Zena Lou, owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown with Chris Brown in the bike. Number 3, Deacon David, owned by Ernie Sork of Fairfield, Sean Nessa of DuQuoin, and Nori Nessa of Fairfield, trained by Sean Nessa with Isaac Love driving. Number 4, Dooleyville Lou, owned by Phil Dooley of Hidalgo, trained and driven by Harold Finn Jr. And number 5, Lou's Miracle, owned by the Flacco Family Farms of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown with Wyatt Avenetti driving. 5 starters to the gate. The gate's already rolling at the north end of the track. The field at the top of the stretch. A purse in race 9 for $1,000. Division 1 of this trot, and they're off and trotting. Out early is Dooleyville Lou, followed by Deacon David. Dropping in third is Mariah Lou, and then Zena Lou. Way behind the field already is Lou's Miracle. Up front, it's Dooleyville Lou with the lead, Deacon David in second, Mariah Lou third, and Zena Lou fourth. So they hit the back stretch for the first time, led by Dooleyville Lou, then Deacon David, then Mariah Lou, and now pulling up behind those top 3 is Zena Lou. They're almost through the back stretch. They hit the quarter pole. The leader still Dooleyville Lou as they make their way around the north turn for the first time. It's Dooleyville Lou with Deacon David in second. 33-1, the time for the first quarter, 33-1. Dooleyville Lou is the leader, Deacon David is second, Mariah Lou third, and Zena Lou fourth. Those top four come by the grandstand for the first time, looking to be single file, but then Zena Lou pulls out wide, goes side by side, maybe looking to gain position, but is unable to do so as the field goes by the grandstand for the first time with a half mile in the books here in race 9. The leader still Dooleyville Lou, the half mile in 1:06 flat. So Dooleyville Lou up by half a length over Deacon David as they're midway through the south turn. In third on the inside is Mariah Lou, and then Zena Lou fourth on the outside. But Zena Lou and Mariah Lou side by side in that battle for third. Up front, though, the leader is still Dooleyville Lou with the lead by a neck over Deacon David. There goes Dooleyville Lou. They hit the three-quarter pole, and the field gets to the north turn for the final time in today's 9th race. The three quarters in 1:37-1. The leader has been Dooleyville Lou the whole way. Deacon David now, last chance to make a move. Are they going to make a move or not? That remains to be seen as Dooleyville Lou is on the inside and headed toward the wire. But coming up on the outside, making an effort, is going to be Deacon David. Deacon David going to be unable to get up there, though. Deacon David content with second because Dooleyville Lou in first, Deacon David second, Zena Lou third, and Mariah Lou fourth. Lou's Miracle will finish fifth, headed toward the wire right now. But the winner of race 9, Dooleyville Lou. 2:08-2, your time for the mile. 2:08-2.
I'm going to bring myself back up, Steve. How about that? Our guest picker, local trainer, and guy recovering from some cracked ribs just won that one. Harold Finn Jr. aboard Dooleyville Lou for owner Philip Randall Dooley out of Hidalgo. H trains this thing and drives it. I was watching him out there in the bike, and he maybe wasn't carrying his hands as high as he normally does when he's driving, kind of keeping his elbows a little closer to those ribs, but he looked pretty good. Set the horse off the gate, never looked back, timed it just right, faded off the charge down the lane, and looked cool tucking his whip 20 feet before the wire. So congratulations to all the Finn family and the Dooleys. Dooleyville Lou, 2:08-2.
And David, you got 12 points on that.
I'll take it.
Harold got 15.
Wait, did he pick his own horse?
He, let's see.
Race 9.
Race
4.
9.
Okay, he better have. I was going to give him a hard time if he didn't.
Yeah. He.
Big night then. Good for you.
Yeah. I'm the worst tonight. I got 66 points. Lisa's only got 67, and you guys are sitting at you at 80 and Harold at 97, and you've retaken the lead.
He has 17 more than me on the night? 80 to 97?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, what was the season total?
Let me see. Let me double check this to make sure that it's correct. I'll get these totals worked out here. I want to make sure everybody's getting what they're supposed to. What they've got coming to them.
You're fine.
Yeah, he has 17 more points. The lowest he has 3 2s, and the rest of them are all double figures, 15s, 18s, and 11s.
So he's hanging one of the first 2 finishers in about every race.
Yeah.
Hey, H, if you're listening, want to go to the casino after this and maybe go to Hoosier and give me your picks to pick for tomorrow night?
The last race is really what killed you.
Yeah, that hurt big time.
Yep, and all of them are killing me. I started out slow, and now I've slowed back up. So
look over, coming across the track now, we have the Finn family, and I want to say right there in Jacqueline's arms, little Amelia. I think when we were at Carlinville, that was her first time seeing Daddy race. This has got to be undoubtedly the first time seeing Daddy in the winner's circle at their home track. I think she's 9, 10 months old, just a little one. So congratulations, everybody. Look at those smiles. I don't know where the horse is, but we have the winners anyway. The connection is making it back. There's the owner right there in the green shirt. And the starting gate bringing over some more of the winning connections. Nice of this DeRoos family to be a taxi service when need be. If my mom is still listening, Stacy cut his hair. Those of you know Stacy DeRoos and his gorgeous hair, he cut it all, buzzed it all up. I didn't recognize him, but some of the Finn clan unloading from the car, making their way over to the winner's circle. Look at Dooley there. He loves it. We got 3 more making their way across the track. I tell you what, when local connections win, everyone shows up. Couldn't be happier for them. They've been nothing but hospitable to us. Great people to work with. Fine young horseman. I told you a couple years ago, he's a Finn, he's a Fagan, he's a closer, he's H. Finn.
Now arriving in front of the grandstand, the winner of race 9, Dooleyville Lou, owned by Phil Dooley of Hidalgo, trained and driven by Harold Finn Jr. Dooleyville win picks up the first win this year. 4 starts so far, now with a win and a third. Dooleyville Lou with the connections there. In the bank blanket presented by the First National Bank of Olney. Our thanks to the First National Bank of Olney for their support of harness racing here at the Jasper County Fair. Nice group photo with all the connections of Dooleyville Lou. Race 9 is official, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get you your fractions. The first quarter was in 33 and 1. The half mile was in 106 flat. The 3/4 in 137 and 1. And the mile in 208 and 3/5. Order of finish from the top down, number 1, Mariah Lou finished 4. Number 2, Zena Lou was 3rd. Number 3, Deacon David was the runner-up. 4, Dooleyville Lou was the winner. And 5, Lou's Miracle finished 5. So from the top down, it would check 4-3-2-1-5. That concludes race 9. Coming up, race 10, the top line, 3-year-old and up, Colt and Gelding Trot. It's Division 2, sponsored by Agritech Enterprise. There are no changes in race 10.
Looking to move your mobile home? Need a roll-off dumpster at a competitive rate? Or maybe it's time to demo that old mobile home? Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport has you covered. We serve Central Illinois with reliable mobile home transport, offer affordable roll-off dumpsters for the Springfield area, and provide expert demolition services across Illinois and Missouri. For fast, friendly service, call Wayne Decker at 217-313-9744. That's 217-313-9744. Or find Pine Ridge Mobile Home Transport on Facebook, your one-stop solution for mobile home services.
All right, David, as we come back here, let's talk about our schedule. We haven't talked about that very much at all tonight. We're back here tomorrow, 6:30 post time for racing tomorrow night. And I believe we got 11 races on the card tomorrow night.
Yes, that sounds right.
And then next week, Monday and Tuesday, we're in Rushville, Illinois, 6 p.m. on the Monday, and then noon on the Tuesday. And nice facilities over there, close to home for us. We really like that. The following week on the 8th, the only thing we have that week is Knoxville. We got rained out there last year, not once, but twice. And so
it'll be nice to visit Flacco country up there.
Farmer City, that's usually a challenge for us. And one of the things we need to talk about is we had to use 2 cameras over there last year.
I'll do it again if I have to.
Well, or we can bring somebody along. If you would like to run a camera for us.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. We might even bring a canopy for you so you can be in the shade, unlike David was. The problem with putting David under a canopy is there's no canopies tall enough.
You make that joke, but today I was trying to get the dang audio plugged in, and I hit my head twice on the audio tent down there because it's 6 foot tall. But anyway.
And then things really start getting busy as we head to Paris on the 21st, Urbana on the 22nd, skip a day, go to Lewistown, then we go to Charleston, then to Altamont, and back to Charleston on the same day. The 31st, Altamont. The 1st, Charleston. Then we are in Mount Sterling for 2 days. And then we come up with 3 new dates for you, or new places for us. Morrison, which is in northern Illinois, on a Saturday. And then Pana, both on the Saturday and Sunday of Labor Day.
And let me say, Horsemen, if you're a Northern Illinois Colt Association Horseman, if you're from the Quad City area, get out to Morrison. And the reason why I say that is I was told last night there was a news reporter who covered Cambridge, Henry County. She went and talked to Robin and Dave about the horse racing industry. She did a really fine piece. I shared it on social media, but the reason I bring it up is she's going to be back at Morrison, or she's going to Morrison to cover the story again. She thought the story was interesting enough people, enough excitement that she wanted to come to Morrison and do more interviews. So if you're a horseman, you aren't camera shy, head on out to Morrison. We'll see if we can get you on an interview because we need to spread our story. We need to tell our story to the world because once they hear it, once they fall in love with it, they'll be hooked like everyone else is. But
absolutely, and we're calling horsemen of all ages.
Absolutely.
Because I tell you what, I love hearing the old stories. I love honoring the people that have been in this industry for a while, but I also like talking to Jaquavian Carter, who stopped by the booth. Young man is just well spoken and excited about
great energy to him, a strong work ethic. I mean, he went down to Florida and worked with the Brown stable, Brian Brown stable, and they were just raving about him. He was their favorite second trainer all summer or all winter long. Just one of those things where we have a talent in our midst here in Illinois, and we're lucky to have him. We're wishing him the best, And like you were saying, it's not just horsemen of that age; it's horsemen of any age. Some of my favorite kind of quick memories from the harness tube stuff is over at Decatur. Evan always gives a microphone to Larry Reed's granddaughter, and she shares what she remembers about her grandpa and his love for horse racing, and just her excitement is palpable. So horsemen of any generation, any age, tell your stories. Share them as much as you can. Here comes Doc Johnson to get his cell phone. He picked up off the track from that last race.
All right.
I hear Scott. We'll toss it back to the judges stand. I think he's going to do a post-parade soon, right?
Okay.
Colt and Gelding Trot. Division 2, it's sponsored by Agritech Enterprises, LLC. Number 1, Little Chipper, owned by Larry Longnecker of Sumner, trained by Jared Finn. He also drives. Number 2, Lou's Raptor, owned by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, trained by Jill Brown with Chris Brown in the bike. Number 3, Fireball's Pride, owned by Chuck Doring of Brownstown, Darla Martin Lohman of Effingham. Darla Martin Lohman trains and drives. Number 4, Lou's Interceptor, owned by Deborah DeRoos of Charleston, trained by Jill Brown with Matt Avenatti in the bike. And number 5, Tank Meet at Anyland, owned by Dennis Gardner of West Salem, trained by Dennis Gardner with Travis Seekman driving. Those are the 5 entries in race 10. No changes. So the program is clear. The field is up to the gate, and the gate is rolling now. Entering the north turn, ready to make the way around to the home stretch to get race 10 underway. Race 10 of 13 coming up tonight. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow night, come back. We'll have another night of harness racing that also begins at 6:30 with 11 races tomorrow evening. This race you're about to see for a purse of $1,000. The gate picks up speed. They're off and trotting. Out to the early lead is number 1, Little Chipper. It's Little Chipper out first, but coming up quickly on the outside of Little Chipper is Tank Meet at Anyland. Tank Meet at Anyland was unable to get up on Little Chipper, though, and it's so Little Chipper leading the way onto the back stretch. Tank Meet at Anyland in second with Lou's Raptor third. Fireball's Pride was breaking with Darla Martin Lohman and begins to drop to the back of the field as Lou's Interceptor moves up into fourth. The leader is still Little Chipper as they head through the backstretch and hit the quarter pole, followed by Tank Me to Dennyland. The field now entering the north turn for the first time, and the first quarter is 31 seconds flat. So it's Little Chipper still leading the field as they get around the top turn there for the first time. And here comes the field to the top of the stretch, getting ready to go by the grandstand after completing almost a half a mile in today's 10th race. Coming by the crowd, here it is, Little Chipper leading with Tank Me to Dennyland in second, followed by Lou's Raptor, then Lou's Interceptor, and 8 lengths back to Fireball's Pride in a distant fifth. 1:01 and 2, the time for the half mile, 1:01 and 2. So Little Chipper has led the entire way and begins to make the final circuit of this mile trip around the track here at Newton. Little Chipper leads, hits the back stretch now for the final time with Tank Me to Dennyland in second. But moving up, trying to get into second, is Lou's Raptor. Is Lou's Raptor going to make a battle for second? Those two side by side, Tank Me to Dennyland and Lou's Raptor. They're both following Little Chipper, though, as they hit the north turn for the final time. It's Little Chipper all the way with Tank Me to Dennyland and Lou's Raptor battling for second. 1:31 and 2. 1:31 and 2 was your time for the three quarters. But it's all Little Chipper so far. Little Chipper is going to be challenged maybe here as they get down to the stretch. Little Chipper, the leader. Here they go. Little Chipper followed by Tank Me to Dennyland is not going to get it done. Little Chipper going to take the win. Tank Me to Dennyland second. Lou's Raptor comes home third. Late charge by Fireball's Pride to go fourth. And Lou's Interceptor will be last. The mile in 2:01 and 4.
Steve, I'll let you do all the typing over there. I'll just bring my audio back up. But luckily my audio was down because at the end of that mile I was hollering, whip drag! Jared was tucking his whip. Don't you love the showmanship? You know, two young drivers having fun with each other. You know, a little showboat, never hurt nobody. Congratulations to the connections, local connections. We see the Longneckers going out there right now, and Jared, a local trainer, born here, went to school here, lived here his whole life, I think. So congratulations to Little Chipper, Larry Longnecker, Jared Finn, winner today's 10th race. Wait, and H, of course, got the exacta right, didn't he? Woo! Yeah, he got the exacta, and he missed with Darla, so he got, 15? Oh, he's making it tough sledding for an old guy up here, I tell you what.
Back now in front of the grandstand, the winner of race 10, number 1, Little Chipper. Owned by Larry Longnecker of Sumner, trained and driven by Jared Finn. This was the 6th start this year for Little Chipper, who previously had 2 wins, adds another win to that resume. So 3 wins so far this season and a second for Little Chipper. Members of the Queen's Court presenting the Agritech Enterprise blanket. We appreciate the support of Agritech Enterprises as the connections of Little Chipper gather around for the photo. Congratulations, Jared Finn, bringing home Little Chipper in a mile in 2:01 and 4/5. Race 10 is official. Here come the fractions if you'd like to write them down. The first quarter in 31 flat. The half mile in 1:01 and 2. The 3/4 in 1:31 and 2, and the mile in 2:01 and 4/5. Little Chipper was your winner. Lou's Raptor finished 3rd. Fireball's Pride was 4th. Lou's Interceptor was 5th. And Tank Me to Dennyland was the runner-up. From the top down, your program would therefore read 13452. Race 10 is official. Looking ahead to race 11, we have a couple of drivers' changes to tell you about. In race 11, number 1, Atty Beach You To It, will now be driven by Jaquavian Carter. And number 3, Seaside Streaker, will now be driven by Quajavian Carter. So to recap, the 1 will be driven by Jaquavian Carter. 3 will be driven by Quajavian Carter. No other changes in race 11 coming up. Cheryl, let's play Pick a Winner.
Yoder Custom Woodworking was started in 1995 by the Yoder family as a retail Amish furniture store in Sullivan, Illinois. They offer custom kitchen cabinets, granite and quartz countertops, built-in office and bathroom cabinetry, and offer a wide range of Amish furniture. Their store is located at 1117 West Jackson Street in Sullivan, Illinois, with store hours Tuesday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturday 9 to 3. For more information, contact Yoder Custom Woodworking at 217-728-2166.
David, since I was down, I'll repeat the
That's my fault.
the humbling thing here. But again, Harold Finn, 15 points for first and second.
Wait,
and
so I just sounded crazy talking to myself that last time?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And then 11 to you, 0 points for me.
Ooh, you can. Well, that's all right.
And 2 for Lisa. I am sticking to the bottom here. I am down to you overall.
The Surrette started out the card hot. The first 5 races, you guys were doing gangbangers, and now it's been a little tough sledding for you guys.
We all were bad races 1 and 2, and then I was top this 3rd race, the 4th race.
And then race 7 blew us all up.
Yeah. Yeah. But Harold Finn Jr. knows his horses.
I tell you what, he should. Both of his sides of his family are horsemen, and he knows what, it comes from a long line of horsemen. But yeah, he's having a good night tonight. We're happy he's having a good night at his home fair, getting a win, overcoming the sore ribs and back to go out there and drive and get a win picture with his newborn, his family, and his one of his best friends, his owner, Phil Dooley. So.
All right, and so
looking
we're
at 11?
heading race 11. 3 races left this evening, as the crowd is thinning out a little bit, but not bad.
Yeah, we still have a 97 viewing right now, which we're between races, so it might jump up when we get back to the race. But we've held a consistent 100 all night at least. In the grandstand, we said probably 200 at one time. There's down to maybe 75 or 80 still here, but we're 9:07 at night. Mom texts me. She's still watching. She's awake, which is a miracle.
So she got it on.
She got it on eventually, yeah.
Okay.
I probably need to fix her notifications, I think, but I'll work on that when I get home sometime. But
well, let's talk about this next race.
Okay.
Lisa and I both picked the 3-horse driven by now by JJ.
Yeah.
Seaside Streaker. With that, its last race in Springfield had a first with a time of 1:59 in that race.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race because we have some different options here. You both went 3-4 and then a different third choice.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I went with the 5. Freddie Patton Jr.'s BR Easy, like a Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's a Swisher horse.
And so I picked that for my 3rd place horse. So Lisa went with the 1 horse. How to Beat You To It.
Okay.
Is that right?
No, I thought they scratched that horse, but it was a driver's change is what it was.
Yeah, it's a Quavian on that horse
now.
now.
Instead of Brandon, yep.
And so that's where she went. Let's talk about, you can talk about yours.
Absolutely. Race 11, I went 5-4-3, BR Easy like Sunday morning, 4 La Parca, 3 Seaside Streaker, whereas Mr. Closer H. Finn went to 11th race 6-5-3. So he went Cosmic Mega Playboy, the other Stan Swisher horse. Then he went Stan 1-2, 6-5-3. We'll see what happens here. It's an interesting race. I want to bring it up, though, because I brought this up one other time and no one knew. Does anyone know who La Parca is, where that name comes from? Throw it in the chat if you have any idea. Maybe Mikey Rogers. Probably not. Maybe not. I don't know. Someone help me out here because I'm a nerd and I happen to know.
You happen to know where that name comes
I happen
from?
to know where that came from.
Okay. Man, can't tell by the breeding, can you?
No, it's the reference is unrelated to horses. If it's named after, I'm assuming it's named after the reference I'm thinking of. You're gonna laugh when I tell you, but it doesn't matter because I know that it's I'm a nerd. I admit it.
Will it be as big a laugh as?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Okay. All right. We're getting ready here for race 11. You can tell we're hot. We're getting tired.
We're getting tired.
I'm not hungry anymore because I did eat a sandwich.
That's good. I'm glad you're getting nourishment. I did eat today. Mom, if you're still listening, I did have a meal today, so you can not worry about that. But
yeah, we're watching out for him, Jackie.
It's going to be nice to get back to that Airbnb tonight on the lake. That cottage that Kevin we're in is so real nice. And it's fun to travel and to have a space like that where you can enjoy, the harness tube hustle and bustle, to have a couple hours just to quietly sit and enjoy the view and our company and work together on some ideas we have.
The week we have late in the month down here.
Ladies and gentlemen, race 11, the starters are out.
We're down here late in the month.
She's right.
What?
Is Scott up? We'll pull Scott down real quickly. Lisa got that one right. She's not in the chat, but La Parca is a wrestler from WCW. He's a Mexican wrestler. He's a lucha libre. He had a mask. He had a whole skeleton. She probably Googled it. I didn't see it happen.
She Googled that on her
But
phone.
she got it anyway. So, La Parca, a wrestling nerd.
Cheater.
I'm a wrestling nerd at heart, so Lisa gets the points on that one.
Oh,
but
goodness.
Race 11 is the top line 3-year-old pace. It's Division 1, sponsored by Tractor Supply, for a purse of $1,000. Number 1, Addie Beat You To It, owned by Charles Smith of Jackson, Mississippi, trained by Brandon Lyles, but there's a driver's change. Remember, Jaquavian Carter. 2, Hermia's Star, owned by Candy Herzog of Beecher City, trained and driven by Chris Brown. 3, Seaside Streaker, owned by Charles Hurst of Houston, trained by Roshan Trigg, driver's change here as well. Make the driver Quajavian Carter. 4 is La Parca, owned by Jill Brown of Charleston and John Huddleston of Mattoon, trained and driven by Jill Brown. 5 is BR Is Liken de Mornin. BR Is Likens de Mornin. MM&D Racing of Charleston, the owner, Stan Swisher of Humboldt, Lester Detweiler of Sullivan, all co-owners. Trained by Stan Swisher, Freddie Patton Jr. is in the bike. 4, Cosmic Mega Playboy, owned by Betty Landman of Charleston, trained by Stan Swisher, with Travis Seekman in the bike. Here comes the field, and we're ready to go with race 11. They're off and pacing, and out early is Hermia's Star with the lead, but not much of a lead over Addie Beat You To It on the inside. Now Addie Beat You To It moves up to take the lead before they get to the backstretch, and it's Addie Beat You To It, your leader, as they hit the backstretch for the first time, with Hermia's Star in second. Moving up on the outside quickly, though, is La Parca. It's La Parca was in third, then second. Now La Parca has taken over the lead from Addie Beat You To It. La Parca, your leader, as they head to the north turn for the first time. La Parca putting some distance between them and the rest of the field, as the first quarter is in 29-3. La Parca came out of nowhere to move up 3 spots very quickly in a very short distance and has now put 2 lengths over Addie Beat You To It in second. So those are the leaders, the top two they come by here. It's La Parca getting ready to come by the grandstand for the first time. Addie Beat You To It is in second. Hermia's Star along the rail. Cosmic Mega Playboy was side by side with Hermia's Star, battling for third. Now Cosmic Mega Playboy moves up into third, now moves past Addie Beat You To It in second. So Cosmic Mega Playboy now in second, but the leader is still La Parca, has now had the lead for almost a full lap. The field on the backstretch now, La Parca still the leader. Cosmic Mega Playboy made a big charge there in the last eighth of a mile. Cosmic Mega Playboy is not giving up, though, in second right behind La Parca. 131 flat was your time for the three-quarter. 131 flat was your time for the three-quarter. But it's still La Parca in the lead as they're bunched up together at the top of the stretch, getting to make a big final charge. Coming over on the outside, out of nowhere, here comes BR. He's liking the morning. BR's liking the morning came out of nowhere, got the wire over La Parca. Freddie Patton Jr. swung wide at the top of the stretch and made a big charge down at the end to take the win over La Parca by at least a head. The mile was in 2:02 and 1. We'll have a full order of finish here in just a moment.
What a good race. Today's 11th race goes to, looks like BR Easy Like Sunday Morning and Freddie Patton Jr. for Stan Swisher. Stan's having a good night. Oh, Lester owned that one. There's Lester going to win circle again. Congratulations to the Detweilers. I was a little busy during that race. I was Googling pictures of La Parca, the wrestler, to try to get one nerd over here. But congratulations to BR Easy Like Sunday Morning. La Parca going a big mile. That sweet Lou gelding for Jill Brown. Cutting out the fractions. Just, I think that horse came too wide at the end, and sometimes when the horse is wearing blinders and can't see the horse closing, it's hard for them to fire themselves up. But just got nipped there by Freddie and a long nose, I'll call it. Today's 11th race. Third place, Travis and Cosmic Mega Playboy. So Stan Swisher going 1-3 in today's 11th race, picking up the front and back end of the trifecta. Congratulations to the Swisher barn. Oh, I'm getting tired, you guys, but I'm doing okay here. So, looking at that race, I just was kind of curious. It looks like JJ got the better of his brother Fat Man. JJ finishing fourth in that one, and Jaquavian finishing sixth with Addy Beat You To It. But making the way back to the winner's circle, I think we see Freddie Patton Jr., and it looks like I see a cowboy hat. That must be Mitch Titus, maybe. So we'll toss it back to Scott Beal for the winner's circle presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming back in front of the grandstand now, your winner of race 11 and a late charge down the stretch under the hands of Freddie Patton Jr. Breeze like Sunday Morning. Breeze Like Sunday Morning, owned by MM&D Racing of Charleston, Stan Swisher of Humboldt, Lester Detweiler of Sullivan. Stan Swisher, your winning trainer, and that is Freddie Patton Jr. in the bike.
No, I sure didn't, Mitch. I'm sorry, but I did not say it.
This race sponsored by Tractor Supply. We appreciate their support. Only the second start for Breeze Like Sunday Morning this year. First win for this horse. Freddie came out of nowhere there down the stretch and was able to get the win in 2:02 and 1. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to write the fractions down, here they come. The first quarter was in 29 and 1. The half was in 1 minute and 1/5. The three quarters was in 1:31 flat, and the mile was in 2:02 and 1/5. From the top down, the order of finish: number 1, Addy Beat You To It, finished 6. 2, Hermia's Star, finished 5. 3, Seaside Streaker was 4. 4, La Parca was 2. 5, Breeze Like Sunday Morning was your winner. and 6 Cosmic Mega Playboy was third. So from the top down, your program would be 654-213. Looking ahead to race 12, losing ahead to race 12, there are no changes in race 12. It is a top line 3-year-old and old Colton Gelding Pace Division 2, also sponsored by Tractor Supply. So 6 horses in race 2, no changes. It will be programmed, will be raced as programmed. Cheryl, go ahead and play Pick a Winner.
Make plans now to attend the 27th Annual Illini Classic Yearling Sale, which takes place on Labor Day at the Illinois State Fairgrounds in Springfield. Once again this year, the catalog will offer not only a strong lineup of Illinois-conceived and foaled yearlings, but also an excellent supporting cast of colts and fillies eligible to other state-bred programs in the Midwest and on the Eastern Seaboard. It's the Illini Classic Yearling Sale, Monday, September 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Central.
Okay, David, you've got a chance here. You got 15 points on that last one, and the Herald only got 2.
Ooh.
So
how the tables have turned.
he has a slim 8-point lead.
Oh, that's bigger than I
for
thought
the
it
day.
was.
Slim 8-point. You moved out in the big one. You are 23 points ahead of me, but just 2 races could
I
put
know.
me back up there.
I don't feel comfortable unless I'm 50 up, it seems like.
So that's what's going on there. Let's take a look at this number 12 race here. As we get started, we'll handicap that, but it looks like not going to be much separation here.
I think so. I got 615. You're 613. Lisa's 621, and Harold's 361. So there will be some shaking up of some sort. I don't know how much it'll be, but there will be.
You'll find out.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see
anyway.
what happens. The last 2 races here. What's gonna set up things for?
You want to go through your picks, or?
Yeah, I can go through my picks. I don't know why Harold's is not showing up.
He's on the screen, isn't he? 361.
Yeah, but the number's kind of lower, so I don't know what's going on with that. Looks perfect here to me, but not looking good there.
It's going on the screen now, isn't it?
Okay.
I watched that. That looks fine to me, doesn't it?
Okay. All right.
It's still in the same line of the harness tube.
Lisa and I both picked the 6 horse, just like you did. She went with the 1 horse, like you did for second. I went with the 2 horse, the Hulkster.
The horse names are wrestler names. It's strong, I'm telling you.
That's right.
And they're both out of the Brown barn, too. Maybe the Browns are wrestling. I need to go hit up Chris and Jill, huh?
I mean, hey, I'm going with that horse let's see. Wait a second here. 6-1. No, excuse me, Lisa. Lisa went with the Hulkster. I'm sorry, I misread the sheet. Lisa went with the Hulkster, followed by Mock Diesel. I went with Mock Diesel like you did, and I went with the 3 horse Dash Around, Clark Fairley, on the 3 horse. So a little bit different there. We 3 of us picked the 6 horse. Harold Finn picked the 3, and we'll see what happens here. With that, all right.
And those of you who are in the chat are following along, and those of you who aren't in the chat, I'll go ahead and share it. I don't think I will be able to put it up on the screen. It's too big of a comment, but I want to share a story about young Mikey Rogers, and you ask and you shall receive. I bring up wrestling, and sure enough, a wrestling story. I go to the right guy, too. Mikey Rogers has a wrestling story for me. Jennifer's in the chat, and she said when Mikey was 8, he almost got himself and Pete Luke kicked out of a wrestling match. Wahoo McDaniel and Junkyard Dog were wrestling. Mikey didn't like that Junkyard Dog was losing. He jumped in the ring and proceeded to climb on Wahoo's back, and the officials had to stop the match to escort young Mikey away from the ring and back to his seat. So if you know Mikey at all, if you know wrestling fans and fanatics, that's about as apt as you can imagine. What a great story. Thank you for sharing, Jennifer. Thanks for sharing, Mikey. In the whole wrestling thing, I was making a joke about it, finding those pictures, but it's the Hulkster too. I mean, it's a thing apparently tonight. It's our topic right now, huh?
Absolutely. Junkyard Dog, actually, one of my favorites.
It's an interesting combination. He went and saw because Wahoo McDaniel portrayed a Native American, and Junkyard Dog obviously was one of the first African American wrestlers who was huge, across the country in WWE. So,
how many of you go back to wrestling as far as I do to
Dick the Bruiser?
Dick the Bruiser and Rufus R.
Oh, big black guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ernie, the other big. Yes, man. Yeah, you're hitting some old names now coming to mind. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
But that's another one of those things. Wrestling it's kind of like the horse business. Is if you're into it, you're nuts about it, and it consumes your whole life.
When I grew up, Channel 11 out of St. Louis had wrestling on like at midnight. Okay, so it was a big deal to stay up late.
To stay up and watch it, yeah.
Stay up late.
And see the violence.
And it was wrestling at the Chase.
Ooh.
At the Chase Hotel in St. Louis, and 2 twin ladies sat in the front row every single week.
Were they good looking? Lisa's saying she watched wrestling when she babysat.
Yeah.
Wait, you should have been asleep at midnight, Lisa. What are you doing? Well, they were asleep. You should have been asleep too.
She was watching wrestling at
Ernie Ladd. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, sorry. Ernie Ladd, the big dog. Yeah, sorry. I'm getting excited over here. I see the people answer my questions for me. I get frustrated, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then we were into wrestling. The boys and I were in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, with Ultimate Warrior and Hulk and Macho and all them.
Gravedigger, or not Gravedigger.
Oh, Undertaker. Absolutely.
Undertaker.
Yeah. My boys are Harrison's kind of into it. I took him on his 10th birthday. We went to Springfield and got to see the Road to WrestleMania. Coolest thing ever. We got there a little bit early, went around to the service entrance, and those guys, not only do they work so hard in the ring 300 days a year, but one guy, for 2 hours, this was March 3rd, it's like 40 degrees out. He's in flip-flops, shorts, and a T-shirt, and for 2.5 hours, he went down the line of all the fans, one by one by one, and made sure he talked to everybody standing at that fence and made their moment special. He engaged with them. He gave them a memory, took pictures. I have so much respect for those guys. It's kind of like horse business. They work harder than they should.
And what's the name of the guy that used to write kids' books?
George Animal Steel? No.
No. Kind of a rough-looking guy.
Nick Foley, yeah.
Foley,
the Cactus Jack, Mankind, Dude Love, the man of many faces. He had numerous characters, but he's a legend. Fell, 20-some feet off a steel cage through a table? I mean, the stuff those guys put themselves through is insane. They work 300 days a year, traveling every day.
You got stuff popping up over there.
You talk wrestling, and people start talking about it. Here we go. Joe DeCura says, my Uncle Louie was the ring announcer up in Chicago in the 70s at the amphitheater. And to this very day, he's still friends with handsome Jimmy Valley. Oh, yeah, the Boogie Woogie Man. I think the Boogie Woogie Man was, let me get this right. No, that wasn't Jerry Lawler's cousin. Boogie Woogie Man was, how great that Mikey said, Jake the Snake. All great memories, all great wrestlers. I was a big Jake the Snake fan. He never won a big title, but Jake was a cerebral wrestler back in the 90s. He was always one step ahead of his opponents, very calculated and cold, and that DDT just put so many guys to sleep. But we can get back to horse racing if you want. I can bore you all night with wrestling facts. But
who was the Boogie Woogie Man? Jimmy Valiant.
Boogie Woogie Man, yeah. I'm trying to think who his. But Jerry Lawler had a cousin that was he was Honky Tonk Man. Excuse me, that's what I was thinking of. The Honky Tonk Man was from Memphis. Because you're talking back in the 70s, that's when they had territory, so all the wrestlers kind of stuck to their home area, whether it be Chicago, Minneapolis,
now,
Florida.
Don't get it wrong, it was still staged. I mean,
the
biggest thing I went to North Green to took my boys to a wrestling match, and the dude missed the head kick by a foot and a half.
So you got to go to the pros because they make it look good, but they work so hard to keep each other safe, and that's what I respect so hard is they put on a show, but their ultimate goal is to keep each other safe in that ring, and that is the goal number one, and that's probably the hardest job they have is to protect each other. I'll throw it back to Scott for today's 12th race.
Purse of $1,000. Number 1, Mock Diesel, owned by the Flacco family farms of Alexis, trained and driven by Jill Brown. Number 2, the Hulkster, owned by Jackson Loy of Beecher City, trained by Jill Brown. Chris Brown is driving. 3, Dash Around, owned by Clark Fairley of Lerna, M.K. Fairley of Charleston, and Elizabeth Fairley of Lerna. Trained by Clark Fairley drives. 4, Revelry, owned by Candy Herzog of Beecher City, Jackson Loy of Beecher City, trained by Jill Brown. Cornelius Cabot is in the bike. 5, Ain't Wicked, owned by David Arbo of Clarksville, Tennessee, trained by Philip Cotton. Matt Avenatti is driving. And 6, Vertical Speed, owned by Kevin and Daryl Miller of Arthur, trained by Kevin Miller with Wyatt Avenatti driving. That is the 6-horse field in today's race 12. One more race to come after this one, folks. We'll be wrapping things up in 13 races here today. Don't forget, tomorrow evening starts at 6:30. We've got 11 races. Meanwhile, for race 12, moments away, the gate has picked up speed at the top of the stretch, ready to come by the grandstand to get this 3-year-old and up colt and gelding pace. Division 2 of that category underway right now. They're off and pacing. Very good start, as moving out to the early lead is Dash Around. Dash Around takes the lead, but not by much, by half a length over Mock Diesel. Dash Around and Mock Diesel are side by side as they get around through the lower turn for the first trip around this track here. Now Mock Diesel edges in front by a head, but now Dash Around gets back up, and they're still side by side as those two battle their way down the back stretch. Now Dash Around gets out in front a little bit by half a length, and Mock Diesel is in second along the rail. So it's Dash Around, the leader, as they make their way around the top of the track, the north end, for the first time. 29-3, the time for the first quarter mile. Dash Around, your leader, followed by Mock Diesel. The field turns out wide, making for the grandstand for the first time, with a half mile almost under their belt here in today's 12th race. Coming by now, it's Dash Around, your leader, followed by Revelry in second, with Mock Diesel third, Vertical Speed fourth, Ain't Wicked fifth, and back by 8 lengths is the Hulkster trailing that field, that group of 5 up front in the south turn. The half mile was in 1 minute and 1/5. 1 minute and 1/5. Dash Around has been the leader now for a lap. Dash Around is in front by 2 lengths over Mock Diesel. In third on the outside is Ain't Wicked. The field gets around the north end. They're a quarter mile away from the finish. The 3/4 in 1:30-3. The 3/4 in 1:30-3. It's still Dash Around, the leader. 3 lengths back in second is Mock Diesel. Swinging out wide now, going to make a move coming up on the outside. Here comes a late charge. A lot of charge from Ain't Wicked here, but Ain't Wicked is not going to get it done. Dash Around, the winner. Ain't Wicked second. Mock Diesel third. Vertical Speed fourth. The mile in 2:02 flat.
I'll bring myself back up while Steve is doing some calculation and tabulation over there. I didn't miss part of that race. I was doing some homework for some officials, but it looks like Clark Fairley picking up the big win. That's 2 wins tonight for the old lefty from Lerna. Clark Fairley picking up a win earlier with Little Old Me, and now it looks like with Dash Around, this horse has been good to the Fairley family. Made almost $80,000 for Clark. For Fairley of Lerna, Charleston. This 10-year-old.
Now returning in front of the grandstand, the winner of today's race 12, number 3, Dash Around. Owned by the Fairleys of Charleston and Lerna, trained by Clark Fairley, and that's Clark at the reins of that horse. Congratulations to the connections of Dash Around. This race sponsored also by Tractor Supply, both divisions of this 3-year-old and up colt gelding pace sponsored by Tractor Supply. Just a 3rd start this year for Dash Around and picks up a win in 3 starts, so that's pretty good. Coming home in the mile of 2:02 flat. Congratulations, Clark Fairley and the connections of Dash Around. Ladies and gentlemen, race 12 is official. Here come your fractions. The first quarter in 29 3. The half mile in 1 minute and 1/5. The 3/4 in 1:30 and 3/5. The mile in 2:02 flat. Here's the rundown. Number 1, Mock Diesel was 3rd. Number 2, the Hulkster was 6th. Number 3, Dash Around, the winner. Number 4, Revelry, finished 5.
Clark just blew it up.
Number 5, Ain't Wicked, finished 2nd.
I keep thinking that kid has a harness tube shirt on
6,
over there. See that?
Vertical Speed was
3 times
4th.
I've been like, oh, what?
From the top down, your program would check 361-524. Race 12 is official. Folks, we've got 1 race to go. It is race 13 in your program. As of now, there are no changes. Cheryl, why don't you play Pick a Winner?
All right, David, again, we didn't do very well. Your mic was up, mine wasn't.
Yeah.
2 points for you, 2 points for me, 2 points for Harold, 1 point for Lisa.
So how does today look? We have 1 race left, 18 points up for grabs.
Harold, 116.
To
David, 108.
So
Lisa, 75. I've got 74.
It's anyone's game yet because we all picked a little bit differently in today's 13th race.
Lisa went with Harold on this.
We'll see what happens here, yeah.
Huh? 2 points. How did you get 2 points? Let's see. She 6-2-1. And it was 3-5-1.
Evening at the harness races here at the Jasper County Fair. Don't forget.
Arguing with my wife here.
She's going to win.
I have 6-2-1 down for your picks on that.
If you've been unable to watch, if you can't come back tomorrow night, be sure to check out Harness Tube on YouTube. They've got a channel where they cover many of the harness racing meets throughout the state this year at the county fairs. While we love to have you here in person, Harness Tube also loves to have you watch online. Find Harness Tube. You can subscribe. They're trying to boost their subscribers. They appreciate that. And the advantage is if you're here watching tonight, but you want to watch a replay, you can go to Harness Tube and you can watch that replay of not only tonight, but for instance, you could watch yesterday at Cambridge. You could watch a few weeks ago at Carrollton. You could watch Martinsville 2 or 3 weeks ago. You can watch many of the races they've covered this year already on Harness Tube. It's a very useful tool. They put a lot of hard work into providing coverage of harness racing at county fairs all over the state. They're back here tomorrow night, so be sure and watch Harness Tube tomorrow night if you cannot make it here in person.
David, other than coming back tomorrow night, we want to let people know you can advertise with us. You can keep us on the air and pay for these long trips that we make.
Absolutely.
And folks, I want to let you know we're not spending the budget left and right. Lisa and I walked out of a restaurant today because one sandwich was going to be $17.
And you packed your own meals for me.
And we went to Wendy's and spent $16 for both of us.
You guys are thrifty because I tell you hit fast food anymore, it's about $10 for yourself, it seems like.
But, yeah, fast food. And we compared this, David. Would you rather have a $28 fast food meal for 2 people or $41?
Absolutely,
good
sit
meal?
down. Yeah, no question. The fast food, it used to be so convenient, and now they have us cornered on the convenient aspect, and it's not that affordable anymore. You know, it's really not. We're hooked on the convenient aspect of it but unfortunately, you know, we're losing that sitting down and eating with family across the table. You know, that's a lost art form. So it's okay that we're trending back that direction.
Well,
maybe.
You know what you could do as a family? You can sit around the TV tomorrow night while it's hot.
Watch Harness Tube from your living room.
Get your kids interested in harness racing. Do a little betting.
Yes. And that's a good point. I had that idea, Steve. I didn't bring it up yet, but I forgot to mention it. If you are watching us at home, if you are ever watching us at home, invite somebody over. I don't care if it's a grandkid, a neighbor, someone from your church, a coworker. Get some new eyeballs on the sport because I guarantee they will be captivated in hearing you explain your love and all the knowledge you have in your brain. Sharing that with them will make them sparkle with excitement for horse racing. It'll make you look like the coolest person ever, and we'll have another fan hopefully. But invite somebody over.
I tell you what, if you're in Mount Sterling and you're looking for somebody to watch a race with, call Jackie Bowen. She'll share.
She's always got wine at the house.
She'll share a bottle of wine with you and her TV.
Go on down to Springdale. There's always a big TV up, and they'll definitely, Mama will let you watch on her TV, I'm sure.
Oh, but yeah, that's what's going on here. With that, I've got a yin fan here. I'm going to talk to you. You go ahead.
Oh, she's good. She's asking for trash, I think.
Did you have a question?
We're looking over here at the race 13, and like I said quickly, we have some handicapping differences here. Only 3-horse field, not a whole lot you can do, but we have what we have, and this will be the deciding factor with 8 points between us. We'll see what happens with H and I for today's crown. But I went 1, 2, 3 just down the page. I liked Connor on top here. That's a first-time starter out of the Nick Prather barn, driving for his dad. We'll just see what happens with that 1. 3-horse race. Connor's a nice young driver. We'll see if he can kind of control it and just take care of things himself. I went 2 for my second choice, Storm Warrior. That's a Stacy DeRoos owned, well, I should say it's a Deb DeRoos owned horse, trained by Jill Brown. The DeRooses bred that thing themselves. It's got the most starts on the page, so the most experience, so I had to use it second here. My third
Ladies
choice.
and gentlemen, we are unable to go racing without an ambulance on the grounds. And some of you may have noticed a few moments ago, the ambulance turned its lights on and left, and we're not sure where the ambulance went. Now, obviously, if there's a legitimate concern and an accident somewhere, that's its first priority, and we appreciate that. We aren't sure if the ambulance is still on the grounds and addressing a situation here, or if the ambulance has left the fairgrounds to address a more serious matter off the fairgrounds. That being said, we cannot have the final race of the day without an ambulance on the ground. We are trying to determine right now the location of the ambulance and if we can make arrangements to get an ambulance back here. We are on a temporary hold, hopefully. Perhaps the call the ambulance went on may end up not being very serious. We don't know. We don't want to speculate. But again, whatever the ambulance went to do, we hope it's not very serious, and we want people to have the best care possible. But we also need to figure out and get to the bottom of this uncertainty when and if the ambulance will return. So for now, the 13th race of the day is on hold until we find exactly what is going on with the ambulance.
All right, David, with that, we're kind of in a holding pattern here.
Hold. Yep, that's all we got.
Thank you so much.
Thank
wow.
you.
We have
handing us gifts.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have some treats being shared with us. We have some saltwater taffy from a local fan up here in the grandstand.
Here, Lisa.
Steve's passing his off. I'm eating mine.
I'm passing it off. She's waving me off.
Yeah, she is. I'm eating mine though.
Hey, I got it.
I'll eat on air. I don't care.
Hang on.
I will convey that to our judge.
Okay, here's something interesting
Okay.
that I was looking up online because I was looking up Wrestling at the Chase. Do you know who the initial play-by-play commentator was? Late 50s, early 60s, until 1963 when he left. Who was the announcer for Wrestling at the Chase?
I don't know. There were so many territories back then.
The Cardinal fan, Carol.
She confirmed with officials that the ambulance did leave to address a situation off the fairgrounds. We don't know what that situation exactly is. We have no way to speculate, but it is a legitimate call, and that's fine that people need the ambulance. That's what it's for, and we hope everyone is safe. Meanwhile, we cannot race without an ambulance here on the grounds. At this point, officials are going to wait and see for an undetermined amount of time if an ambulance is able to be brought to the ground from another source. So our official and the judges stand will consult with officials.
Yeah, there's a purse of $800.
3 horses, yeah.
And is there a scratch on this?
Nope, just 3. Well,
4.
1, 2, 3.
Has to be weighed against the time element.
Did I miss this?
We also
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to keep horsemen
Why do I
and
have
spectators here any later than necessary if it becomes
Jasper?
obvious
What is today? 6:20.
Takara's Fire shouldn't be in there.
Okay. All right. How did I miss that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Was my file that way?
Yeah, I think so. But at any rate, for Cardinal fans out there, the
Yeah, give me the answer on that one.
The great Joe Garagiola,
I would never have got that.
commentator for the Cardinals and player for the St. Louis Cardinals, was the initial play-by-play commentator on Wrestling at the Chase. And Mickey Garagiola, if you were familiar with that era, his brother was one of the other announcers out there. Others included John Curley, Eddie Gramacki, and Mickey Garagiola. And so some of the wrestlers that were there that participated were part of the NWA.
Yeah, that was the National Wrestling Alliance.
Ric Flair,
who owned a standard-bred racehorse as of 2021. He bought into a horse.
Handsome Harley Race,
Harley Race was from St. Louis.
Cowboy Bob Orton,
Bob's son Randy, obviously a Hall of Famer, 20-year veteran, currently wrestling.
Dick the Bruiser, missing his front teeth. Bruiser Brody.
I have a Rex Guardhouse back in Mount Sterling has a autographed picture of Bruiser Brody, who passed away in Puerto Rico in the 80s. But Rex went and got some piece of antique from somebody down around Grafton or somewhere. It ended up being some retired wrestling manager named, I'm going to get this wrong, Wild Bill. Oh, I was wrong. Anyway, he was Bruiser Brody's manager for years, and he had a picture of Brody signed and he gave it to Rex. So that's kind of cool you brought that up.
Yep, Dory Funk Jr., Ted.
I think Dory just wrestled last year, like 84 years old, I think, in a hardcore match with explosions and barbed wire and stuff.
And Andre the Giant, I can remember was an originator on that.
Race. Connor Prather, Jill Brown, Cornelius Cabot, please stop at the start-finish line. Judge Randy Callahan wants to come speak to you. Jill?
This is going to be tough
Jill,
to hold
Cornelius,
the horses.
Hold up right there. Randy wants to talk to the drivers involved in race 13.
You want to race without an ambulance here, and my
No,
answer to
we
that
can't.
would be no. Just going to split the money.
Quick FYI, if we do race this race, Takara's Fire is not a starter. That is my fault. I skipped a line when I was doing my entry, so there's only 3 horses in this race. Dreamcatcher RT, Connor Prather for Nick, the Storm Warrior, Jill Brown, and
Our
Deja
presiding
Fru.
judge, Randy
That's
Callahan,
1, 2,
is going to
3,
consult
right?
with the 3
Correct.
drivers
All
entered
right,
in race
we'll look at
13.
that change.
Connor
Here, we've got
Prather,
a
Jill
moment to
Brown,
do
and
it.
But that was my
Cornelius
fault. I'll
Cabot.
own that one because I definitely just skipped a line and added a horse in there that wasn't racing tonight. Big Ernie
Race
Ladd.
13 is a maiden trot, also eligible non-winners of 2000 lifetime, sponsored by Tractor Supply for a purse of $800. Our judge is speaking with the drivers to determine what might happen here. Obviously, we cannot race without an ambulance. The question being, how long do we want to wait? What are the options of canceling the race or postponing it until tomorrow, or waiting and running it tonight if they can get an ambulance back here on the fairgrounds?
Okay, 10 o'clock, we got to go, I think. I don't think they can wait a whole lot longer, can they?
I wouldn't think so, and so you've got the horses down here keeping them
Randy,
here another
I
day.
have just learned that both ambulances that are available in Newton have been dispatched to the accident where the ambulance went. At this time, it sounds like all of the ambulances on duty in Newton are on another call.
Our thoughts are with that situation, whatever's going on there.
Absolutely. And you know, keep that in your prayers. And
yeah, it makes you wonder when you hear two of them.
Thankful for in
Horsemen in the barn
racing
area,
days.
if you are done for the evening, please be sure and turn your saddle pads in.
Gotta have that announcement, don't we?
You know, here's my idea. I told Tina, don't let
So
them pick
far on
up
the
their
ground,
checks before the end of the race until they bring their saddle pads back. Otherwise, you have to wait to the end of the race to get your check. Just a little motivation, maybe.
Could be.
We're thankful for that. We appreciate the presence of the ambulance, but we totally understand when they receive a legitimate call where someone needs their services. So that is totally understandable that the ambulance had to leave.
Is that our verdict? What's the verdict?
Randy, have you made a decision?
I'm closing up shop. They're talking over there. We'll see what happens with it. We'll give them another chance, but I'm going to start getting my paperwork together because I don't know what the options are, but I don't think racing at 10 o'clock or waiting for an ambulance is going to be the best option. So we'll see what happens with it all. Who did? Oh, okay, yeah, he's gone. He's off the track anyway. Yeah, we have, yeah. Looks like we have one competitor left the track, so even if we, he might just be going back to wait, though.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen,
Still talking to the fair board there.
We do harness racing tomorrow night as well. 11 races on Tuesday night, beginning at 6:30. I'm sure Cheryl will be here playing Pick a Winner tomorrow evening, so you'll have another chance to win tomorrow.
Steve, I'm going to make the executive decision that Harness Tube's going to go ahead and shut down. And I think if we do wait, it'd probably take too long if they get this race off. You know, we want to show you races, obviously, but the horsemen have left the track. I don't see a whole lot of bustle to get things back going. I don't think much we can do.
All right.
So I'm going to tear down. If we miss this race, if they do get this race off tonight, we apologize. I'll post. I'll catch it on my phone maybe and post it on YouTube or Facebook or something, or we'll just see what happens with it. But we're going to go ahead and tear down instead of waiting all night with you guys. I see the start-finish line folding up and going, so I would say that if they're going, the officials are done, so we're going to be done. And Steve, you want to go ahead and sign off tonight?
All right. Thanks for watching.
We appreciate it.
God bless.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.